I think we did it. I think it's happening. Yay. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for hopping over to the Zoom line. The Zoom line is easy to find today. It's the same link as yesterday. I stuck it in the video comment notes, and we are here for day 3 of the Client Attracting Stories training. It's day 3. It's day 3. It's day 3. So pop on over. Hi, Megan. Hi, Anne. Hi, Lita. Hi, Carly. Hi, everyone. So excited to have you all popping on. Let us know here in one sentence or one word, how are you feeling about stories here on day 3? Are you feeling more inspired? Are you feeling more hopeful? Are you still feeling confused? I want to know where you're at. Post a word below to let us know. And pop over to the Zoom line because we're going to have a lot of time for laser coaching today. And we're giving away $10,000 worth of free training today. I'm so excited. So where have we been in this training? Where have we been? We have been up and down the mountain twice. We have been really helping you get clear on what is the structure to tell not just any story, but a client attracting story. And these structures you can use all over your marketing, right? You can use engaging questions all over your marketing and Facebook posts and videos. You can really help people understand what are their biggest challenges, what's in their way, all over the place. You can help people really identify their own breakthrough by you sharing your personal turning point. What turned you back toward hope and goodness and inspiration in your life? And then to really always tie it back. Remember that your tiebacks are the key that makes your story a marketing story, right? Because when you're just telling a story, you're entertaining people. But when you tie back your story, you have an opportunity to actually let people know, here's where I've been and here's where we are going. Here's where I've been and here's where we are going together, right? When you tie it back, now your story becomes your client's story, right? Think of a time when you felt this way. Think of a time when you struggled with X, Y, and Z challenges. Think of a time when you really wanted to have X, Y, and Z results. All right. So one more time, I'm going to show this in case any of you want to take a screenshot. You guys can screenshot that. You've got your story structure for all of your stories moving forward. We're going to continue on today because today is all about actually weaving in the offering principles into your story so that your story is not just a story any longer. It's a way for your future clients and your potential clients to kind of like try on the dress, right? It's a way for your clients to try on the opportunity of what it would be like to have your support. And this is going to be key. This is really going to dial up your stories. So I'm so excited to get you this content today. And it wouldn't be proper of me to start a 3-day client attracting stories training without actually telling you a story. So as you guys are hopping over to the Zoom link, be sure to hop over to the Zoom link. Oh my gosh, I also want to say your videos are blowing me away. Oh my God. For those of you that posted videos, I want to hear on the comment section, one word, what did it feel like to post that video? What did it feel like? Was it exhilarating? Was it terrifying? Was it hopeful? What did it feel like to have your sisters see you, like see into you? Video is vulnerable. I'm curious for how many of you were you like, oh no, I'm not posting a 2-minute video where I'm having to say some of the most vulnerable stuff about me, right? I'm just curious for how many of you were like, oh, hell to the no, I'm not doing that. And then throughout the course of the 3 days, you started warming up and warming up and warming up, and then you did it. And I'm curious how many of you actually haven't done it yet, but you're still thinking about it. Because I have a surprise. My team and I engineered away last night that every single one of you who posts a story video, every single one of you, and all of you that post story videos this weekend, we're going to extend it, are getting $1,000 credit toward our programs, toward our high-level programs. So it's a really huge discount. So hop on the phone with a coach if you haven't already to find out like what that means, right? But you'll realize once you talk to the coach, it's a significant discount. For those of you that are ready to get support this year, to get mentorship, to get the proven plans that are going to help you take your business, either get your business off the ground or really take it to the next step. So you guys, years ago, I was on my own spiritual path. I was a little lost. I didn't really know who I was. And I decided I would go and do a vision quest. Okay, let me tell you what that means. That means that I decided I would go with a small group of women and be on the land for 4 days with no food. I know, some of y'all think I'm crazy, right? I wanted to go put myself on the earth and get clarity on what in the hell I was here to do with my life, right? So I went out, I sat on the land for 4 days. All I had was water and my sleeping bag, and it was harder than hell. But here's what I learned in the process. I learned about a man named Stalking Wolf. Stalking Wolf is an Apache elder, an Apache Indian, whose job it was to bring the vision quest to the Western world. And here's how he found out. This is going to blow your mind. This is completely pertinent to your journey right now, and you're going to find out why in a moment. Stalking Wolf was a Native American elder, but when he was a young man, he had to go and do the vision quest, just like every other, teenager who was a Native American. The vision quest is a rite of passage. And I'm curious how many of you feel like growing a business has been a rite of passage, right? And post one word in the comment section. I want to hear from you. What would be the word you would use to describe business as a rite of passage, right? Is it discombobulating? Is it crazy? Is it expanding, right? What is it for you? Because here's what I realized in my process of taking myself out and putting myself on the earth with my sleeping bag and my, Nalgene bottles full of water, right? I realized that we don't have rite of passages in our society anymore. We've lost this key ingredient of what it takes to be successful, to actually give yourself this rite of passage. So Stalking Wolf goes out as a 17-year-old or whatever, and he goes out on the land, and when he's out there as a young Native American, he sees the vision of him taking the process of vision questing to the white man. And he says, oh no, I don't want to take the vision quest to the white man. They're not going to understand it. And he goes back into the tribe. And here's what most people don't know about a vision quest. The vision quest starts, it just starts with the vision. And then what really makes a vision quest work is that young person comes back into the community and gets matched with peers and colleagues and mentors. And that young Native American actually is mentored into living his or her vision on the planet. Are you following me? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Because this is the thing very few of us had. How many of us as young people actually had mentors that we actually trusted and that continued to stay with us to groom us into the highest versions of ourselves? So few of us, right? So get this, Stalking Wolf goes back to his village and tells his grandfather, whose name is White Buffalo, and his peers, oh my gosh, this was my vision. I'm supposed to bring the vision to the white man. And he met with the elders and he told them, I don't want to do this. I'm totally resistant. And so 1 year later, his grandfather, White Buffalo, and some of his peers sent him off on a second quest. This second quest is known as a clarification quest. And on that quest, he started to deepen into this reality that he was meant to live his destiny and bring this medicine of having a rite of passage around your life purpose to Westerners. He goes back into his village to start to really live this village, live this vision, and the village is gone. True story. The village is gone. There's no village there. He's all alone. And he looks at the horizon and he sees a white buffalo. And he hears the voice of his grandfather in his heart. And his grandfather's voice says, "It's your time to go live your vision. I will always be with you." Oh, when I tell this story, I get choked up. I'm here to tell you, it's your time to go live your vision. It is your time to go live your vision. But fortunately for you, you do not have to do it alone, right? Just like Stalking Wolf immediately went, and what he did was so cool. He started traveling around to all of the indigenous tribes, and he started to study from tribes all over the country what they were doing to effectively run vision quests. And then he diffused all of the different traditions and all of the different ceremonies down into a process that we Westerners can digest. And so I bring a bunch of vision questing principles into my year-long training programs, right? We're literally designing our year-long business training programs as rites of passage for women entrepreneurs, so that you don't have to go live your vision alone. I mean, this is the thing that really blew my mind. So we've brought some of this technology into our year-long programs, right? So you guys have seen the elemental wheel, right? North, south, east, west. This is straightforward. In many Native American cultures, they associate earth with the direction of north, fire with the south, water with the west, and air with the east. Okay, so here's what we know in building a business, because when I train women to launch businesses and rock businesses and scale businesses to 6 and 7 and multi-7 figures, when I'm training that, I actually have learned that when I match the business building principles with universal laws, women are able to digest the business building principles that much more easily. Does that make sense? Because we see that business building principles, they're not manipulative, they're not sneaky, they're not, anything other than universal principles. It's the same principles that allows nature to grow and flourish that's going to allow you to rock your business. So check this out, right? We always start in the east, right? In the element of air in the east, we remember that our vision, write this down, your vision is bigger than your to-do list. You have got to remember this, to always check back in with your vision, because it's your vision that's going to pull you forward, right? Pain pushes until vision pulls, okay? Take notes here. You can take a screenshot too. In the element of fire in the south, we remember that clarity actually comes from taking action, right? And not the other way around. Jot that down. Clarity comes from the actions you take. It doesn't come from getting stuck in the mental spin, which is what happens to most entrepreneurs. In the element of water in the direction of the west, this is all about resources and flow. It's all about money as your spiritual path, because some of you haven't actually embraced money as your spiritual path. It's your spiritual path to make more than enough money so that you can give back to the world in all of the ways you want to, in the same way that here at Women Rocking Business, we've been able to build a multi-million-dollar company and support women in the rainforest to launch businesses so that they can keep oil companies out of their jungle homes, and support, this year we're able to support over 1,200 girls in Uganda to become financially empowered so that they don't have to sell their bodies just to afford to buy food, right? So, right, this is all happening because of the resources that we've allowed into Women Rocking Business. And I'm putting a stake in the ground that you get the mentorship and you get the guidance to be able to also allow more resources into your world. And you guys, then that brings us around to the direction of north, right, and the element of structure. Because here's the thing about structure, many women will resist the very systems and structures that will free you in business. You'll try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you'll do several things at once. And you want to be a free spirit, many of you, just like me. And I'm here to tell you, being a free spirit takes great discipline. It takes great discipline. And it takes really understanding and knowing the structures, the formulas, the principles that you can rest into that are proven to get you clients, to land you speaking gigs, to get you in front of people, to have you make videos that actually inspire your potential clients to raise their hand and say, I want some of what she's having, right? So when these things are working together, you guys can see that you have business success. This is the wheel of business success. And what the Native Americans knew that really blew my mind is that right around here, right, when you're moving around the wheel in the way that you would move around the wheel if this were a life cycle, right? We always start in the east because that's where the sun raises in the morning. The element of east is associated with babies, and then south is teenagers, and then west is adults, and north is the elders. And if we want to move all the way around the wheel effectively, we must gift ourselves the opportunity to have the rite of passage that actually allows us to come, to get clear on our purpose, to surround ourselves with mentors and colleagues who are going to hold our feet to the fire and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough settling, enough complacency, and enough mediocrity, because that's what's going on out there, right? Out there in the world, you see complacency and mediocrity everywhere. And what I always say to my clients, when you're ready to break through that ceiling, when you're ready to go faster than you've ever gone, when you're ready to help more people than you've ever helped and create more freedom and more abundance than you've ever experienced, hire a mentor who you can resonate with so that you can loop energetically with that mentor and with that set of mentors and really get the transmission and the support and the plan up underneath you so you do not have to spin out anymore and you can get out there and make the difference that your clients are waiting for you to make. Get out of your own way, because many of you right now, you're in your own head and it's kind of selfish. I'll be honest. We've got to orient you towards service immediately because the world needs us. It's not getting any easier out there, right? With homelessness and hunger and global warming, us scaling our businesses and launching our businesses is going to be the thing. I believe it in my heart. Women are the largest untapped potential on the planet, and that's what my TEDx talk is all about. My TEDx talk is coming out in a couple weeks. Stay tuned for it. But for now, I'm talking to you. You are the answer. You're the one. So let's get you supported. I'm so excited for today's training and for many of you who are jumping into our year-long programs. So I'm going to be talking today about how you use your story to actually seed your services and offer your services, right? And when I say seeding, what I mean is that you're planting a seed, just like you hear me doing all the time, planting seeds for your ideal clients, that you are taking a stand for their transformation. I'm going to teach you how to do that with your story today. And right now, I want to acknowledge all of the women who made videos and tell you who the winner is. All right, I want to just honor, I can't even say all the names, but for now, I just want to say Michelle James, Eliana, Pam, Pamela J, Louise, Maria, Ann Feldman, Ruby Envy, Patricia, Mona, Melissa, Jill Kaufman, Pepita. These videos are mind-blowing, amazing. If you guys can make those videos, all you need is a proven plan. You need a marketable program. You need to put your funnels up online so people have a way of finding you when you're taking a nap or sleeping or walking on the beach. We got to get you going with that stuff. But I'm here to tell you, if you're able to make those story videos, as soon as you have just those other pieces of structure in your business, sky's the limit in terms of what you can create. So please, for the love of the universe and the goddess and the divine all around us, right? Click on the link and grab a spot with our coaches if you haven't already. Their schedules are filling up fast. And I have not actually come out to my entire tribe, my list of over 100,000 of you. We haven't opened doors officially to my year-long programs. The only women who know that doors are open to year-long programs are women that came to our event, and now you guys. We're leaving as many sessions open as possible for you guys through this afternoon. And then this afternoon, boom, the greater public at large finds out about my coaches' availability and their calendars. So please, if you haven't gotten in their calendars, click the link, grab a spot now so that you can absolutely take advantage of that gift. And we are going to announce a winner of the video contest Drum roll, please. I'm going to first tell you who the runner-up is. The runner-up, there's two runners-up. Runners-up are going to get not $10,000 worth of training, but they're going to get a couple $1,000s worth of a business breakthrough. And if you are a runner-up, we're going to gift you a 30-minute business breakthrough session with, who is it? It could be anybody. It's Sage Levine. Okay, so the two runners up are, drum roll please, Jennifer Cruz. Congratulations. I'm so excited to hop on the phone with you for 30 minutes and get you the biggest breakthrough of your life. And the second runner up is, drum roll please. By the way, did I mention, this was like the hardest decision. My coaches and I were sitting around having breakfast today and we were like, the good videos are never ending. Like scrolling down the sisterhood page, there's like dozens of mind-blowingly amazing videos. You guys are incredible. Second runner-up, also eligible for a 30-minute breakthrough session with Sage Levine is Christy Kennedy Ward. Dude, you guys are badasses. So excited. Make sure you email support@sagelevine.com and we're gonna get you the link to book with me. All right, you guys ready for the winner? This woman who I'm about ready to announce is going to win a seat in our year-long entrepreneurial training academies, which is either our leadership level or our leverage level, depending on where this proud winner is with her business, okay? If you're just getting started, we're gonna give you all the tools to fill your practice, fill your first group program, start speaking, get your website dialed in. If you already have a business, we're gonna get you all the tools to find more clients, grow your group program even bigger, fill your first workshop if you haven't already done that, and really scale your message on the internet and start building out your online tribe, okay? Because there's certain building blocks you guys have to put into place in order to have a really flourishing, financially sustainable business that allows you to work 12 days a month or less, travel all over the world if you want, go where you want to, when you want to, with who you want to go with. And no matter what woman comes into our year-long programs, we are committed to getting you in the exact right place to get what you need to build the business you've been dreaming about. These programs include 3 retreats per year in California. There's one retreat in Hawaii called the Big Island Business Breakthrough Retreat that hundreds of my clients have attended at this point, where you really come and learn to break through to scale. These programs include being placed with the exact right private coach for you. All of our private coaches have built their own businesses. They're all incredibly successful, or they've helped scale Women Rocking Business to the multi-7 figures. And in addition to that private coaching, you're going to get weekly support where you're on group calls with myself and the coaches, getting step-by-step hand-holding so that you never have to wonder what it is that you're doing in your business to get clients ever again. So I'll tell you what, the winner of this contest, who's about ready to win this prize, the winner is about ready to receive between $10,000 and $15,000 worth of training that thousands of women have invested in over the years. And we're literally handing you a seat in our year-long training programs. Are you guys ready to know who it is? You guys have been so patient. The winner is, I'm gonna slaughter your name, Imani Aisha. Let's see if I can get you on. Are you here? Oh my gosh, I think you're here. I'm so excited to work with you this year. How are you? Oh wait, you've got it, there you
go. First, you didn't slaughter my name, actually.
Hold on, I don't know if other people can hear you, but I can't hear you.
I unmuted myself.
Megan, you might have to come in here and tell me if you hear.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear her?
Can you hear me?
Aisha, you're so beautiful. I can hear her. Oh, you can? How come I can't? Everybody else can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Here, Megan, help me. How do I get this computer to actually, hi everyone! How do I get this computer to show me, to actually, it says if you want to switch to a different microphone or speaker. All right, keep talking, girl.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you feeling?
First of all, you didn't slaughter my name. I wanted you to know that.
Oh.
And it's hard because there are 3 vowels in the beginning. Like, what the hell? I'm never speech. I'm an extrovert, but my knees are shaking. My heart's beating out of my chest. I don't know what to say, but be grateful and say thank you, because there were times where in this whole process that I could have said no. I can't even tell you, but I said yes to everything in this process. And as a marriage coach, that's one of the most vulnerable, the story I told was one of the most vulnerable for me because it involves my now husband. And I don't know what to say.
Your story was so beautiful. And that's exactly the caliber of story that we encourage you goddesses to get out there and tell, because that's the story that's going to have your clients go, you know what? Not everybody has their shit together, and people are going through the same pain and suffering and grief that I'm going through. So get your beautiful face in the camera a little bit so we can see you. Can you lean toward the camera just a little bit? And remind us what it is that you've been through that makes you so passionate about supporting people in the way that you do.
You know, one of the things that I didn't say in my story, but I told somebody, was that, you know, I'm kind of a twice child of divorce. And what that means is my parents divorced when I was older, like going off to college. And I was like, cool, you guys don't belong together anyway. You know, I wasn't upset about it. But then 2 years later, they became really good friends. And my inner child, I mean, for 8 years, and we were going on vacations together. I mean, for 8 years, my inner child was excited. They weren't together romantically. And then one of them got remarried, and that stopped abruptly at one of the most vulnerable times in my life when I was pregnant with my first child. And I did not handle it well. And I thought to myself, going through that whole process, like the first official divorce and then that next divorce that really felt like a divorce, I was like, what I do is help the foundation of families to keep them together so that they don't have to feel that way, to make sure you're doing everything that you can. I don't want to be loquacious and I can't because I'm choking up right now.
Oh, tell me what the emotions are about.
I just really kind of surprised that I think it's very divine for me. When I started out this year, I said the part of my business that the part of me that I'm not really putting into my business as much as I want is storytelling. I had a griot at my 16th birthday. A friend of mine said, you're a storyteller. She's very into ancestral work. And she sent me some things about griots in my adult life. And I'm a poet. I wrote poetry. I have, you know, books of poetry out. And I used to do spoken word. And it felt like this thing I used to do, but I loved. And I was like, how can I make this part of my business?
Yeah. And
to have this, when you said there's a story, I was like, okay, God, I'm going to do the storytelling challenge. And then for this to happen, I'm kind of floored, but I'm also grateful to the divine and the creator for bringing this to me. I said, God, if this is for me, then bring it for me. And if it's not for me, then I'm so happy and prayerful for the one for whom it is for.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Girl, you are so powerful. And just like feel into that emotion just one more time, because you're like me. As soon as somebody asks you about emotion, you'll just go into the intellectual passion. Just one more time, just speak to the tenderness of like what that touched in you.
I feel a release and also a tightness, if that makes sense. And I am my knees were shaking and my heart was beating so fast that sometimes I feel like I have to be reminded of my own faith walk. I have to be reminded that the things that are for me will come to me even though I say it. And that I think is what, like, I feel like the release of that, my shoulders aren't up in my head. Yeah, you can open the door. My mother's helper has to leave and my daughter's probably gonna come in. Bye, sweetie. And so I just feel that, I feel like usually I'm like this. I'm like, and I have to, but I feel the release and I still feel like tight, but I guess it's a good tight.
Well, let me remind you who you really are and what you're meant to be doing on this planet right now. And with your daughter there in your arms, I just want to remind you both. Hi, what's your name?
Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Hi, Sovereign. I wish somebody had named me Sovereign. I needed to know a thing or two about sovereignty. Well, Sovereign, I can't wait to meet you. Your mom is a powerhouse, and we're going to scale her business up this year in a big way. She's going to be on stage in front of a lot of people.
Oh my God.
Give her lots of kisses and hugs because she's going to be being great all year long.
Miss Sage is pushing mommy all the way out her comfort zone off the cliff.
Because I know you can fly, girlfriend.
Kisses for Miss Sage. Okay, you're gonna give mommy a minute? Okay, I'm gonna come out and play with you in a minute. Yes.
Mom, Kiki.
Oh, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. What's one intention you have for this year and being with us all year long and having the coaching and the weekly support and the training calls and getting your little butt out to California? What's one intention, something you want to create this year that we're going to be behind you with?
You mean logistically? Because again, head.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah, I do want to do in-person things. I do want to have workshops and engage with people. I really love that. I get energy from other folks' energy, and I think it's a beautiful thing to connect with people outside of the saturation of social media. I just, no offense, social media, but I'm kind of old school like that.
We're going to teach you to use social media to fill your rooms. And a lot of the women that you saw here yesterday hopping on, they've done the same thing. Keisha, beautiful, I don't know. Do I say black? Do I say, I think, or African-American. I think she's a black woman, right? She's got
whatever she wants.
Right? She's amazing. She might pop in today. She did a big event for women leaders last year and had a really successful launch. Megan, who you're going to hear from in a minute, put, 25 people in a room a couple times. She's created over $250,000 worth of revenue. We have women putting 50 women in a room, 50 participants in a room. My client Elizabeth had an event last year of over 100 people, crushed it, first 6-figure launch. So I'm so excited to get you these tools. This is what we do. This is what we're passionate about doing. And I just want to congratulate you for playing full out in this contest and putting your heart in our hands.
I'm so grateful. I wish there was another word besides grateful because it sounds trite, but
I'll take it.
Yes, I am. I've been doling out gratefulness today. I just messaged a friend like, girl, I'm so grateful for you because we just accountability partners in business.
I'm so proud of you. Tell your friend I said hi. Email support@sagelevine.com. We're going to get you in the system, get you everything that you need to get set up. And we start in a week and a half. We're going to spend a whole day together virtually. Then we'll be together in July out here in California. So start making your plans.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Oh my God, what a delight. I love, that's my favorite part. I love giving out prizes. I'm going to recommend you guys do the same. It's one of the things we're teaching you guys to do in our year-long programs too, is to gamify everything. And for those of you that are considering jumping into our year-long programs, I'm here to tell you we have all kinds of creative payment plans. We have ways that we can make it financially accessible to you guys. So please, if you have not already, book a spot with a coach so that you can connect with us about what we offer and how we offer it and make it accessible for you too, so you can study this year with Imani. And just a reminder that all of you who made videos and anybody who makes a video this weekend is going to be eligible for $1,000 off of those year-long programs. All right, so let's talk about using your story to actually help you find your clients and to really use your story as a marketing tool and to take it to the next level by weaving in the offering language into your story. So I'm going to talk specifically, write this down, about 3 ways that you can seed using your story. And what I mean by seeding is I mean that you're planting seeds of curiosity in the minds of people who are really hungry for the result that you offer, right? If you're a relationship coach, you're going to be talking about things like love and being in a long-term sustainable relationship and getting to travel with your partner and what that feels like and why we should never give up on that dream if it's a dream that we have. Because, right, whenever you say those phrases, it plants that seed of hope in your potential client's mind that even if I haven't had it, even if it's been years since I had it, even if I've never had it, it's not too late. She's telling me it's possible, right? You weave these kinds of conviction into your stories, right? So number 1 way to seed with your story is to seed opportunities, write this down, for service delivery of what you offer. So let's say that you know you're going to actually offer people a free session to talk to them about how it is possible to work together, right? Maybe you're going to offer somebody a love breakthrough session. Well, during your story, you could say something like, one of my favorite things to do is to sit down one-on-one with people and really help them figure out what's their number 1 block to love, right? And you could weave that into your story. And that way, at the end of your talk or at the end of your video, when you then offer a complimentary love breakthrough session, right, you will have already planted the seed that it's something that you love to do, and you will have warmed people up that might actually be curious in having that experience with you, right? Think about it, guys. A lot of people think, and some of my clients come to me and they're like, you know, I kind of feel like seeding is a little bit like tricky or manipulative. And I'm here to tell you that seeding is actually respectful when we can get out of our own way and take ourselves really seriously and treat ourselves like the professionals that we are. Think about it. When you're going out there and seeding your offerings, what you're doing is you're allowing people to try on what it would feel like to get mentorship from you, right? Like in a department store, if you're going to buy a dress or a sweater, don't you want to be able to go into the changing room and try it on and see how it looks? That's exactly what we're doing by seeding. We're letting people act as if. Okay, so you can seed with story your service delivery, right? So you can seed things like, you know, I love leading retreats, or I have a, family communication retreat, right? If you're Imani and you're wanting to do some kind of a family, breakthrough retreat, right? Then you'd be planting the seed in people's minds that, oh my gosh, I could actually go on a retreat with my family and we could like reset certain family dynamics, right? Imani might talk about how she's actually done the work to start to reset family dynamics in her life. And she mentions that retreats are one of the best ways to do that in her story. Can you see how that would plant a curiosity in your ideal client's minds, right? You can also do things like seed a program that you have that might be like a 9-month program, right? You could say something like, I love working with clients for 9 months because what happens is they have X, Y, and Z results. And if any of you are looking for those results too, I'm going to recommend you stay till the end of our session today so that I can, really make an offer to you to get some support, right? Totally complimentary as a next step. The second way that you can seed with story is you can seed concepts, all right? You can seed that hypnotherapy works, right? If you're a hypnotherapist, you can talk about how, right, X%, I think it's like 70 or 80% of people that attempt to stop smoking using hypnotherapy are actually successful, right? You can seed, it's okay. Here's a wonderful way to seed a concept with your story. You can seed the fact that it's okay if you haven't yet had the success that you've been wanting. It's not too late. I don't care if you're 40 years old. I don't care if you're 50 years old. I don't care if you're 60 years old. It is never too late. We have women jump into our programs in their 70s. Last year, we had a 74-year-old woman 2 years ago jump in named Beth McKinnon from Canada. Beth came to us totally reliant on her Medicare to live, and she didn't have any extra spending money to do the things she wanted to do. And we helped her launch a part-time business, helping women reinvent themselves in the second half of their life. She's 74, 76. She's amazing. I remember she looked in my eyes. She goes, Sage, I am going to be your poster child elder. And I watched her go and create a business where she was making $5,000 to $7,000 every single month, meeting with women in her living room. It is never too late. Beth launched a business in her 70s. How badass is that, right? So you guys concede that it's not too late. You guys concede this is a great thing to seed. If you haven't had the success, if you haven't experienced the healing, if you don't yet feel like you've come into the full version of yourself, it's not your fault, right? Society is actually set up to keep us small, right? You can actually seed those things in your story and set your clients and potential clients up for that curiosity, that hunger for more. Let's talk a little bit about seeding with your story by sharing your beliefs. Okay, write this down. You can seed by sharing what you believe. You guys ever heard me talk about the fact that women are starting businesses 1.5 times faster than men right now, but our businesses are failing faster than men's, and women are still only getting paid 80 cents on the dollar compared to men. This has got to stop. We have got to close this gender pay gap, and entrepreneurship is a solution to that. And you guys have heard me speak these kinds of facts, and many of you think like I do. You are like-minded. You believe similarly to how I believe, right? And that's part of why you're here and not somewhere else listening to another mentor right now, right? So I'm going to recommend that you, in your stories, find a way to seed and plant seeds and talk about what it is that you believe, because it's your beliefs that are going to attract your clients. Now, I want to bring someone on who is a direct result of everything that I stand for. And I sometimes get choked up when I officially bring this woman on to lead with me. You've already seen her. She just helped me figure out the volume on my computer. She's amazing. She's a woman who went through our programs with so much commitment in her heart that she has created massive results, and in the process supported hundreds of her own clients and participants. And I'm going to bring her on because I want you to hear her story and what she went through when she was learning these story marketing principles that we teach. She was learning them just like you're learning them about 2.5 short years ago. 3 years ago, I'll have to ask her. And she has completely changed her life in the process. Let's see if we can get her on. You met her yesterday. Her name is Megan Neely. She is absolutely one of the lights in my life. I get to train alongside this amazing woman. She's training some of our high-level clients. She's got her own successful business, just absolutely rocking the world of women entrepreneurs all over the globe. Megan, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Sage.
It's so delightful to sit next to you and just witness who you've become in the last few years since I've known you. 2.5, 3 years?
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago when I first got started with joining into Leverage, one of the year-long programs. Yeah.
Remind us, for women who are listening in, remind us what you were going through at that time. I know so much of what you were moving through at that time. The women who are listening here in this 3-day training are going to absolutely be able to relate.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so touched this morning getting to watch so many of your videos just as I started out my day and looking at or hearing all of your beautiful shares and really feeling your hearts, because I could feel so much of myself in your shares. And like Sage was speaking to, having a vision, and the vision can sometimes seem really big and bigger than where we've been before. Most often that's the case. When we have a vision, it's bigger than where we've been before. It feels scary. And that's exactly where I was. So a few years ago, I was really declaring that I was going to stop taking all the coaching training, because I had done over 7 years of training and modalities to get ready to actually start serving clients. But I still didn't have a plan to get started serving clients. And I had decided this was going to be my year to focus on growing my business. And as life happened, I also was needing to pay bills, as I'm sure you all understand, paying for rent and car. And my partner at the time lost their job. And it felt like almost a sign from the universe that, oh no, now's not your time. You should stop. You should wait until there's going to be a better time, an easier time. And I am so glad that I didn't believe that story, because we always have the opportunity to tell ourselves a better story. And in that moment, I decided I was going to look for help. I was going to look for support. And I, again, asked the universe, send me something, just like beautiful Imani was sharing, asking for support, asking for guidance. And sometimes that supporting guidance can come in the form of trainings like this, showing up in your Facebook feed, opportunities to go to an event or to speak to a coach, to get some support outside of yourself. And amidst this challenging time where I felt like I didn't know where I was going to find my next client, and I didn't know how I was going to pay my next month's rent, I went to a training like this with you, Sage, and I started talking to one of the coaches. And she so believed in me, so believed in what I had to offer, even though I felt really scared and I didn't know the path. And I said yes. I said yes to joining in on one of the year-long programs. And I am so grateful I did, because that's where I got to learn all the strategies to be able to fill events, to start hosting speaking engagements, to even learn how to tell a story, learn how to have a sales conversation, which, even though I'd had years of training and I felt like I kind of knew what I needed to know, I'm sure some of you can relate to that feeling, I actually didn't know how to have a sales conversation. I didn't know how to really speak to potential clients in a way that would have them wanting more than my free offerings. And that was so frustrating. And we all need our clients to actually have them become clients. They need to reserve sessions with us or programs with us. And that's how we really get to serve people. So as I learned these strategies over the year-long program, I started offering my own speaking engagements. And as Sage spoke to, I had my first 3-day event. And through that first 3-day event, I had my first 6-figure launch. So I went from not knowing how I was going to pay the bills and thinking like maybe I should get a part-time job or a couple part-time jobs to figure out how I was going to do it, to actually being able to serve the clients that I had envisioned and the ones that I knew I had trained for and I wanted to work with so badly. And that was really the greatest gift. It's amazing to be able to have the money come in, but the money stands for what we really want and allowing ourselves to have it. And in that case, for me, it was about growing a business that would allow me to work with the kind of people I most wanted to work with and allow me to have location independence where I wasn't tied to a desk, not working in a cubicle that would kill me. And I just got to move to San Francisco a month ago. And even going through that process and knowing that I could live wherever I wanted because I'd created a business and I'd put in the years of work to grow a foundation for myself to be able to say, yes, I'm going to move where I want to move. I'm going to create the kind of life I want to create. And that wouldn't have been possible without first saying yes to talking to a coach and then saying yes to joining in on the year-long program so that I could actually learn the business skills I needed to change what I was doing from a hobby where I was, chatting with people and giving them lots of great advice, but I wasn't making any money, to something that could really fuel their lives and mine.
Oh, I'm so touched. I'm so touched by where you've been and your commitment and watching you go from, working a couple of jobs and not knowing if it was going to work. And I mean, I just remember you sitting in one of the chairs in our workshops being like, but I don't know if I'm good at making videos and I don't know about being visible. And now you're crushing it and you're getting on Facebook Live and you have people raising their hand to work with you. And just the level of freedom and choices that you've gotten a chance to make and gift yourself. And getting to travel all over the world with you and be in Hawaii with you and hold your hand and swim with dolphins together and celebrate being alive and that we get to help thousands of women together. Like, I just thank you for your courage and your commitment to become more of yourself and to give yourself over. I mean, it takes something, it takes something for us to give ourselves to our clients, to give ourselves to service. I think of Mother Teresa. She's like, you do not belong to yourself, like so much of our suffering comes from getting in our own way and being so hyper-focused on what might be wrong with us that we can't do this. And Megan and I are just speaking a word for every single one of you, that we get you out of your own way as fast as we can so that you can be here for the people who are literally praying for you and asking for you and waiting for you right now.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, Sage, for that acknowledgement of, the transformation that you've seen. And that's really also what I want to share, is that joining in on the year-long program was the beginning.
Megan, can you adjust your microphone a little bit possibly so that it's just sounding a little tinny?
Okay, louder.
No, I don't know louder. It's just making a little bit of an echo.
Let's see.
That sounds better, actually.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not my usual spot today.
You're doing great.
I just wanted to speak to the transformation that happens. We can often think, as I definitely did, I had a yoga background. I'd gone on a lot of retreats and had a lot of spiritual experiences and thought that I needed to go off and maybe do more of that. And I'm so glad that I decided to focus on the business building, because that's actually been the biggest transformation for me in my life, of getting to really know myself and to believe in myself. And so for all of you women who feel like, oh, it was really scary and sweaty doing the video, and I saw one of you, bless your heart, you said you did 22 takes. That was me. When I remember the first video challenge you had us do, I spent the entire day filming and refilming and refilming. And this is how we get to be who we are. This is how you walk towards the woman that you're really meant to be and meet her all the way. So just want to congratulate each and every one of you who's making videos, who's showing up, who's doing the scary things to actually reach out to your potential clients. You're so brave.
Absolutely. And to be really honest with yourself too around what you need next, right? Like, we talked today a lot about this wheel of success and where you really are in terms of actually living your vision fully and integrating the dreams and the impact you want to make on the planet. And to be honest about whether you've actually fully invested in your success properly, right? Like, the difference between jumping into a 6-week program, with a mentor for just a month or two, where maybe you don't really get to have a personal connection with anyone. Maybe some of those programs that you've invested in don't have any private coaching. Nobody's tracking you. Nobody's behind you. Nobody's really paying attention to whether you're showing up on the calls or not. And I'm here to tell you, I know how easy it is to think, I just need to go get a little more training, right? Just like Megan said, I just need to go get another modality, maybe another coaching certification. And I think Megan and I are both here to remind you that if we can get the business, when we get the business going for you and you're serving as many clients as you want to, you can have the disposable income to do whatever other trainings you want to do for your entire life. I mean, for me, that was actually one of my big reasons I wanted my business. And I'm curious what it is for you. And I'd like to hear you guys on the comment thread, like, what's the reason why you want your business? Because for me, one of the reasons I wanted was just so that I could travel and go to as many events and workshops and study with as many teachers as I wanted for the rest of my life. And now that's just what I've done. I was just down in Beverly Hills with a group of incredible conscious marketers. And, you know, I'm on my way next month to go to Costa Rica with a group of thought leaders there. And we're heading to Uganda later this year to do volunteer work with an orphanage and go get to be with the gorillas in Africa. Like the dream life that you're dreaming about and whatever it is that you want to spend money on is part of what's going to pull you forward. So to really be willing to invest in your business. Any last words of wisdom, Megan?
Well, I love what you're speaking to about being willing to invest in your business so that you can have the dream life. And also knowing that everything that I learned in my year in leverage, I get to use again and again. So I actually just booked last week, I booked 9 speaking engagements. And the reason I was able to do that was because I actually went back to the worksheets and I was using the systems that I learned. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to basics and do this and follow this because I was on my own edge. And that's what one of the amazing things that you get when you're in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy or Leverage is you really get systems and structure. And I know for most women, we're a little more fluid and watery. I know I definitely am, and maybe even resistant to having the structure. And having those structures is what saved me again and again, being able to lean into that and say, okay, what do I actually need to do? Not just post on social media, but let me look at the worksheet. I need to reach out to some potential places to speak and get them on the calendar.
It's so true. And it's so easy to be hiding behind our computer, pulling our hair out, being like, what do I do to just get a client? It's like, you need the systems, you need the tools to actually get visible and then to really be in front of the right people. And I've just watched you do that over and over. So proud of you. So Megan, what would you say is the biggest way you've used story to continue to scale your business into the multi-six figures? What's been your favorite strategy for story?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite strategies for story is that you can actually use story when you're having a one-on-one conversation with a potential client. Because we can think about telling a story from stage or on a video on social media, and those are amazing. I use those all the time. But also when you're having that intimate one-on-one discovery session with a potential client, and you just have a minute or two to be able to share about where you've come from and where you are now, this is how you let them know that you have credibility and that you also are a real human person and you see them, you hear them, and you can reach out and connect on a much deeper level. So I'd say that's probably one of my favorite ways that I use it on a daily basis.
I'm so glad you said that because we haven't really gotten into that very much here on this training. And I want to just really underline that when you guys are talking to somebody that you know would be an ideal client and they talk about what they're going through, whether it's a divorce or whether it's a health issue, that's the time for you to lower your voice. And in just a few sentences, don't make it all the way about you. Keep the focus on them, but just in a few sentences to say, I so totally get where you're coming from. I went through something similar. Here's what it looked like for me, right? When I hear from women that have gone through divorce, I always say, oh, wow, sister, I totally feel you. I went through that too. It felt like somebody pulled my umbilical cord out of my belly button. I was like so lost for a period of time after my relationship ended. And it really took me committing to my business and rebuilding the structures that held me in my life to now, right, be able to have created the life that I have. And, you know, my healing from my divorce had everything to do with my business, right? And I'll just weave it right back around to the thing that we're talking about. And you can do the same thing with your stories. In fact, letting your potential clients know when you're in an enrollment conversation with them that you have a story similar to theirs, their heart is just going to open and they're just going to breathe a big sigh of relief and like, oh, she gets it. She gets it, right? And I've watched you do that, Megan, so effectively in terms of selling out your year-long programs. And also I've watched you do it incredibly on video. You're so real and accessible and willing to share what's true and vulnerable for you.
Thank you, Sage.
Oh, I love you so much. What a joy to get to lead with you.
My pleasure.
I know you're going to be around to take calls over the next couple hours. So if you guys haven't booked a coaching session, grab a link and you may end up on the phone with this amazing woman, and we'll bring you back on in a few minutes if you're still.
Totally. I'll stick around. And I've opened up a ton of space on my schedule to really devote to supporting all of you, and just want to remind you that this is an opportunity to get really clear on the next steps for your business. And also if you're saying yes in your head, like I was sharing, like saying yes to the universe, yes, I'm ready to grow my business, taking an action that matches that declaration is so important. And Sage is being so generous, offering all of you who've created videos, and like you said, even if they haven't yet, you can make one now to be eligible for $1,000 off. So there's really no reason not to hop on a call with us.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you all connect with my coaches. They're amazing. This is not like some random sales team outsourced from another country, okay? These are like women who are real, who have been on their Shero's journey, who give a shit about you. We do prayers every morning on your behalf. We literally all went this morning and did a short healing ceremony together, just in honor of holding space for your greatness. Every single one of you that's making videos and watching, we literally were sending you all the confidence and the light and the encouragement to move forward. And we're here for you. We're in service. And I love getting to make a difference for you. And we all get to do that together. So I know for many of you, you've told me, I've talked to some of you, you want a collaborative business. You don't want to be doing it all alone. It's one of the reasons why even some of my 7-figure colleagues come and hire me, because they want to see how is it that we're actually doing this collaboratively. Because at Women Rocking Business, as you guys know, and it's all outlined in the book, right? We do business from a place of collaboration rather than competition, generosity rather than a sense of scarcity or urgency, and empowerment rather than a sense of power over, right? It's the new economy, and it's how we're all creating business together. And that's what we're all about. So Megan, it's so amazing to have you on. We'll pull you back on in a few minutes if you're still around. And thank you for schedule to talk to these incredible women.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So what an incredible journey we've been on. Where we have been is we have been talking about your stories, right? We've been talking about how you structure your stories so that you get people's attention from the start. And then you get very real when you're laying out the challenges and the frustrations that you've been through. You're willing to anchor those challenges and those frustrations in an emotional moment, right? You've heard us use examples, right? Megan didn't just say, oh, well, I was just feeling like I wasn't good enough, and I was just feeling like I didn't have what it took. She took you back to the moment when she was really doubting herself, and she took you back to that moment where she literally was like, I just don't know if I invest in myself, if it's really going to pay off, right? And we talked about that moment when she was sitting in the seminar room, right? Like really doubting herself. Really wondering if she was good enough to get on camera and good enough to get on stage. And you guys can see now, right? She's such a masterful and articulate public speaker, right? So anchor your challenges, your suffering in a real life moment. And then to really make sure that you, when you tell your story, talk about that moment when you recommitted, right? When you decided from here on out, I'm showing up for myself. I'm investing in myself. I'm going all in on myself, right? And then from then on, what did you do? And this is not the point, by the way, to tell someone to go buy a book. I've seen beginner entrepreneurs make that one mistake, right? They'll start telling their story and they're doing a talk where they're going to offer maybe a free session or offer something that you, right, use to support your clients, make an offer for a program. And I'll watch entrepreneurs stand on stage and tell their story. And then they'll say, and then I read this book and my life changed. I'm like, don't do that. Because we can't just read a book and have our lives change, right? Like our lives change when we're actually surrounded by people who believe in us, mentors who can pull us forward over the course of not just a few days, but months, where we can actually go out and take the small steps that we're terrified to take and then come back and report to somebody how it went. This went okay. I had 12 people in the room, but nobody signed up. Or I had, 12 people in the room and only 2 people signed up. Okay, what did you do? What didn't you do? At what point did you feel like, they weren't responding? We're like doctors who can continue to diagnose you all year long, right? And you are like a doctor for your clients. So when you talk about your turning point, when you talk about climbing out of your pit of despair, don't give people an easy solution that makes them think they can just go do it overnight, because life doesn't work that way. Your clients need you working with them for weeks or even months to make true lasting changes. And if you're somebody that wants to lead retreats and workshops, one of my favorite things to do is to put 90-day programs in place around your workshop or retreat so that clients really get the value of being with you for 90 days or several months or 5 or 6 months, where there's a retreat in the middle of it so that you can prep them for that retreat. And then they come and they have that transformational experience together. And then there's more calls to integrate what they learned after the retreat's over. This is the real value, and you can charge more for that, right? And then you actually make sure to tie back your story so that your clients really get like, oh, she's not the only one that can have a transformation like that, right? She's not the only one that can create those results. I can create those results too. And we're here to tell you at Women Rocking Business, you can create those results too. I want to bring on one more goddess who has absolutely blown my mind since working with her. She's had just insane transformational results. And then I want to take some laser coaching from some of you and support you with your stories, and support a couple of you that are considering jumping into our year-long programs and would like to know what I think, whether it's a fit for you. Get my guidance on what are your next steps. Now, the sister that I'm about ready to bring up, I met not even a year ago. She hasn't even been with us for a year. And this is one of those clients who came into my life, was walking through hell. She's going to tell you her story. Was walking through a lot of grief at the time, and she has continued to recommit. I'm just curious, how many of you are walking through something that is sometimes an excuse maybe not to do your business right now, or not to play full out right now? You know, I love what Megan said about that. There's always a reason not to do it right now. And I'm curious, like, leave us a comment in the thread. What might you be walking through that's having you pause or think about slowing down, right? Because what I'm really excited about showing you is the possibility and the opportunity that your business can actually get you through the hard stuff when you're willing to just love yourself enough to take those first few steps. And I'm excited for you to hear Selena's story. Selena's amazing. I'm going to bring her on here, get her on video for you. Selena Gray is the Money Boss coach. She works with women in the realms of money. She's a powerhouse. She's so freaking authentic and real. Selena, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
What a delight. So not that long ago, you were sitting in some of these women's seats and asking yourself, gosh, life is in session. I have some real stuff going on. Is this really the time to keep putting this business together? Will you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was coming up to some heavy struggles. So I am a CPA and a financial empowerment coach. And a lot of my time before joining your program was spent trading time for money. I was working one-on-one with clients. I was loving that. But as a new mom, I had a toddler. I was really wanting to root myself in quality time with her and scale my business, leverage my business, have more boundaries around my time, because it's my nature to be a workaholic and serve my clients and have poor boundaries with that. And, you know, just as I was onboarding myself, to the next level investment, I was reflecting back to the prior few months, and I had invested with a coach and it didn't align to me. It wasn't making any sense. And so there was that part of me going like, really, am I going to invest again? Like, can this work out? And I was really struggling with that as, you know, a mom wanting more quality time. I see the value of investment as a money expert. I really aligned to it, but there was still that part of me going, ooh, do I really want to do this to get more boundaries in my life? And then disaster pretty much struck in my personal life. my best friend, her daughter got diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it became terminal really quite quickly. And I realized just how important and precious moments are, that we really need to have a sisterhood around us and support, and really to lean into those strong boundaries. And all of a sudden I had virtually no time to work on my business because I needed to be there for her and her family. And just thinking about it, standing in the fire with my best friend was some of the most trying moments of my life. And what helped me so much through that was you, Sage, as a visionary. I remember the moment I signed up for the year-long program in Leverage, and then ultimately with Lotus, you personally reached out and were like, how can we support you? You know, what can we do to show up for you? And that was a game changer for me. And the power of the sisterhood, how you all held space for me and really helped me strategize, because I was so overwhelmed by a wall of grief, like rooting myself into that moment. I can burst into tears because I was so overwhelmed needing to support my friend. And then I was carrying this successful business, but I had no time to work in it. And then I had you all, this amazing sisterhood, and you helped me through the fire. And I remember you giving me permission to say, it's okay. Like, take the pause, lean into the quiet, support your friend. And I had come from a very masculine world where as a CPA, you push through. And what you really taught me, Sage, was to pull in the power of the feminine. You know, I remember one of the retreats, getting to meet some of the other goddesses, and just leaning on their expertise and their power really lifted me up. I could feel you all with me in my day-to-day, helping her get through her own grief. And unfortunately, in November, our sweet little Ellie passed, and that was devastating for us. That's my daughter's best friend and my best friend's daughter. And you all just rose with me. And I never expected that to be my journey this year. And when I said yes to investing in you, Sage, and your programs and your coaching and the sisterhood, I had no idea that was going to be my future, but it was. And how you all held me, I had never felt that before. And what it taught me was really the power of vulnerability. I had come from a world of masculinity, you know, certain ways to sell and show up for your people in a very strategic way. And not only through the grief process, but in how you present the year-long program, it gave me a safety net to know that it wasn't a sprint. It's a marathon with you all, like that I can be held and take pause, but then when I'm ready to show back up, I can lean on the strategies, I can lean on the sisterhood. And it completely transformed my life. I remember moments saying, like, from stage, because I loved speaking, I've been on stages for the last decade, really going through that with you when I was saying, oh, you know, I used to travel the globe first class, I've worked in 12 countries, and you're basically like, that's great, but how do people relate to you? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a critical piece. And so you helped me reframe all of my stories to root into my vulnerable moments, the ones where I remember laying on the closet, in my floor, my closet, surrounded by all my beautiful things, and my life was spinning out of control and I was feeling overwhelmed. And those are the stories people relate to, the struggles. And you really taught me how to stand in my power, lean into the vulnerability, and my masculine energy can be pushed aside and really hold space for my clients. And that was a game changer for me. I could really help my clients in a much more deep way. And even through the grief and needing to pause my business, I've been able to do multiple six-figure launches. And Sage, it's because you're a visionary and you teach us how to be a visionary in our life and business, and really see that as a nourishment, that you can hold space for us, that we can hold events and learn strategies that we can align to. And one of my primary teachings in my own business is that connection is currency. And you were able to take me through that process even deeper. And the ripple effect to my clients has been epic. So as a full circle moment to the grief, just last Saturday, my very best friend who had a regular job, a job, together through the grief process, we've been working through some of your like philosophies of vulnerability. And she started using the power of story to help others feel resiliency. So last week, literally, she stood on the stage for the very first time and told the story of losing her daughter. And the entire room of women erupted in complete awe. It was something I just like stand in awe of, because like for her to lean into that power and to still be in a state of grief, but to pull through the resiliency, the room erupted. And I really believe it has to do with a lot of things that you've taught me through this year-long experience. And we still have a few more months to go, but that is, you show up for your people, you hold space for them, you help them see through story their own transformation. And now indirectly, your gifts are touching even more people. So I really, from the bottom of my soul, want to thank you for that.
I want to thank you right back. I mean, what an incredible testament to the power of vulnerability, even just for us being here, knowing that at any moment, life can happen. Life can take someone away from us that we love. Life can turn our world upside down. And for me, knowing that I get to have my business no matter what, it's actually service that carries me through. I think about Gandhi, I think about Martin Luther King, I think about how the greatest leaders on our planet have always spoken to the power of service. I believe it's very selfish. There is no greater feeling than giving your life over to changing other lives. And when you then can live the life that you want to in exchange, that's the game that we're playing at this level. And Selena, your story about losing your daughter's best friend touches my heart so deeply. It reminds me of a story I rarely tell, which is that, a year before I started my business, I lost my aunt and my cousin. This was my favorite aunt and my cousin, who was 5 years younger than me. And my cousin Amy, who's one of my very best friends in the entire world, lost her sister and her mom. And my uncle Steve lost his wife and his daughter in a horrible car accident. And I remember being so angry at God. This was not supposed to happen. They were not ready to go yet. And in that absolute ripping despair, I remember this ferocity of, all right, if that's the way this stuff goes down, I am going to live. I am like, it unleashed, right? Something out of the school teacher inside of me to say, fuck this shit,
Totally.
Like, I am going to live. And I have watched you do the same. I mean, you just had your girlfriend on stage telling her story of losing her daughter. And the difference that made for every woman in the room who is terrified on a daily basis of anything happening to their children. We are here to live. We're here to make this huge difference. It's not easy, but what you have said yes to, Selena, just fills my heart with so much joy. And your innovation and your coachability and your ability to show up. I mean, I watched you walk into that retreat last year, and your heart was hurting. And you showed up anyway, and you didn't know people very well. This was a whole new room of women to you, and you just held your own. You just held yourself. You're held high. You said, I'm hurting. You let us feel you. And you just steadily went about the business of building your business. And look at what you've done. Look at what you've done.
It's really amazing. And some of the things that really held me throughout the process was I had been on this spiritual journey for quite some time. But at that retreat specifically, immersed with you all in the redwoods and leaning into silent walks. And I felt like I could tap into my highest self more so than ever before. And I could hear, the words of service. And as an accountant, that's not always how we are trained to process our business. So for me, then it opened the doors to be really open to the possibilities of your strategies in a different way. So, for example, I had always been taught to sell very masculine type strategies. And that didn't really fully align with me. And through your teachings of the GROW model, where we literally get to help people, walk through the fire and hold them and use our stories to support them and help transform their own life, what a gift. Like, that has been such a blessing to me. Not only has it completely filled my group programs, which I couldn't have imagined, but it's allowed me to go deeper with the women in my life outside of my business. And then you've also just allowed me to see different strategies in how I show up in my day-to-day with those boundaries I was seeking, and how to help me through that mom guilt, like VIP sessions, for example, where you're like, wow, Selena, you're showing up for this many clients. Why don't you transform that? And I had done VIPs before, but never like how you had showed me. And it also transformed how I show up and do business. So not only from a spiritual side have you all been so amazing for me, but also to level that with strategy. I feel like that's how you get the buy-in. And for all of you who are sitting there going, I'm scared about the investment. I'm worried. I feel a call, but I'm just a little concerned. I want you to lean into that and think about how you'll feel a year from now, transformed. And I had went from a place that I wasn't sure of, jumping into this investment. I had just gone through an investment that wasn't successful. And being someone who's really aligned with money, I was like, I know the possibilities, but even still, I felt the fear. And we have to walk to that edge and say, who am I going to be? Who can I step into? Who's the next level version of me? And who can I touch? And looking back, like, I'm not even through the year, I am completely different. I am up leveled. I have made my investment back dozens and dozens of times. And I still feel like myself, but just elevated. And so I went through grief. I went through hardship, but I can stand with you all today and say, like, I am me. I am peaceful. I am calm. And it's because Sage helped me curate a business that is deeply rooted in who I am, that is aligned to me. I don't have to work every day like I did before because I thought I had to. Sage allowed me, through her visionary concepts, to challenge those things. Now I work 3 days a week, and I get to be in the fire with my clients, and I get to transform with them. And then I get to go and spend quality time with my daughter. And I can say with absolute certainty, I wouldn't be here without Sage and her teachings and the group that she provides. Like, when you show up to her events and you get to see her in action so that it inspires you to do events, you change, your soul changes. My events now are 10 times what they used to be. I've learned these strategies, I put them into action, and then I get to put my own spin on it, because we're all beautiful beings with our own messaging, and our clients are waiting for us. So now is your time to invest in yourself, invest in these programs with Sage, because she walks through the fire with you, whether it's grief or celebration. These women, this sisterhood is the real deal.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. So many more women on the planet are going to have financial empowerment and self-worth because of what you've created. Thank you so much for bringing your gifts, Selena, and thank you so much for standing for the women here.
Sage, I just have to say, like, from my soul to yours, I am so deeply grateful for you helping me see things differently, for helping me evolve my business, and then also allowing me to be what I feel like a more present mom and a better friend, especially when time is so precious. So I really am grateful to you. Thank you so very much.
You're so welcome. I'm so proud of you. It's my honor to get to support you all.
Yes, thank you.
I love you, sister. Have an amazing day. And
love you.
For being here. For every one of you guys watching, leave Selena a little love on the comments thread. Not only for her, but for her best friend who lost her daughter. What's your best friend's name?
Jamie.
Jamie. Leave some comments for Jamie on the comments thread, and for Selena, and for the courage of women supporting each other, trusting the process, leaning in, unconditional love, knowing that when we show up for each other, we can then, it's like a rubber band, and then we boom, fly so much higher together. What a testament.
I love it. Really lean into who you're going to be next year after you invest in yourself. so many things are possible. It's limitless.
It is. It sure is. Love you, sisters, so
Love
much.
you too. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. What a beautiful thing to have you. Oh, what a gift. What a gift. What a gift. And that really is, right? Like the essence of feminine business, right? Like Selena said, we teach the mindset tools alongside the strategies so that when you learn the strategies to put your talk together and to how to craft an offer that you make from stage, when you learn those strategies, you're open to them because we've done the mindset work to really align you with your higher destiny on the planet. This is a destiny move, right? This is not just, oh, let's go out there and get a couple of clients. I don't take this lightly. For those of you that are considering getting mentorship with us this year, I don't take it lightly. This is you saying yes to your destiny. You know, this is your legacy that you're going to leave. This is the way that you are going to impact the planet. And even if you're not clear on what that is yet, just like Selena said, we're going to help you get really clear on what is your message. How does your message overlap with the thing that your clients are hungry for? And to really match those feminine strategies with the mindset principles and not leaving behind the masculine, because we all have this feminine energy of creation. And then there's the masculine riverbanks that we need that help us focus, right? They help us sit our little butts down at our computers and, you know, channel the words that we want to say on our website. And right, once you have the templates and the checklists and everything we give you in our year-long programs, you can literally just take the things that you're passionate about, work with your private coach, and plug in your ideas and the things that you love into the systems that are going to work so you can relax into knowing you get to make a difference this year. You get to build your legacy business. You get to get out there and really make a difference for the clients that are waiting for you, even if you've never had a client before. So I'm excited to coach a few of you who are looking for more support and want help with your stories. I'm going to bring on Lisa. Garrido has been so patient, waiting. And Lisa, I hope you have video on, turned on your line, and let's see if we can have a quick hot seat here. Lisa, do you have a little video that you can start on your computer? Are you there, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I don't know how to. I didn't realize that I just had my picture up. How do I change that?
I didn't know how to turn your video on the phone unless you see a little icon that says video on your phone.
Shoot, I'm so sorry. I thought I had it on.
It's all right. Tell me what. Actually, here, let's do this.
Oh wait, start video. Hang on.
Here.
Did I do it? Did that work? Okay.
It worked.
I
want to say congratulations for jumping into entrepreneurial leadership.
I'm so excited. Oh my God.
How does it feel?
Terrifying and awesome all at the same time.
Oh, I'm so thrilled to support you this year. It's going to be an amazing year.
Oh my God, it's incredible. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. And Megan sends her love. How are you? How can I support you right now?
I am good. You know what? It's funny because when I was talking to Megan, she said to me, because I just got off of doing a Facebook Live for me and my group. And so I popped onto the Zoom, right? And so I came on late. I didn't know what you guys are really talking about. And I remember Megan telling me in our session, she's like, every time you're on a Zoom session, there's no reason why your hand shouldn't be up. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna put my hand up. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my hand up. And oh my God. So I don't really know. I think for me, I don't know exactly how to like what is my message. I think that I so many people have so many different things that I feel like I bring into my work, but I don't know what like the overarching thing is. So I'm someone who's like, I'm over verbose. I say too much. I go too long, right? So that 2-minute video, like, yeah, it took me it was like 5 minutes. It took me forever to make it 2, and it took like 30 takes in order for me to make it happen.
Oh my God, sweetheart, I'm so proud of you. And I just want to say that impulse in you to just raise your hand, you're not 100% sure what you're going to ask. It's that very impulse that's going to absolutely carry you through. So Lisa, let me ask you this, like, when you dream about who your clients might be, and when you think about how you might want to help people, like, what do you see? Do you see women? Do you see yourself in front of people? Do you see yourself speaking? Do you see yourself in the health field? Like, just give me a little bit to go on here.
So I definitely, and it's so funny to say this because it's really just not only making yourself vulnerable, but like that idea of like, you know, am I good enough to do this? But I've always felt, and I haven't done it a lot, but every time I'm in front of a group of people, I just feel very like I just drop into a zone. And I've had dreams about being in front of like large groups of people. I don't even know what the message is. I just know that when I'm there, when I first did it, it was like, wow. Like I did a yoga class on Santana Row, like, you know, one time, and there was like hundreds and hundreds of people there. And I just like dropped right into that. And I thought, oh my God, like more of this, please. I need to be doing more of getting in front of a group of people.
So you're a yoga teacher. What else is your training?
So I basically have, I'm in Daniela's 300 advanced yoga teacher training. But that wasn't really I did that also based on inspiration. So I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a Reiki master. I do a lot of I do a lot of coaching. I do work with a lot of men and I work with a lot of women. And so I don't really know, just the Facebook group I have now is She Is Thriving. So that's all just women and the sisterhood and like leadership and intuitive development. But I don't know who my client is. I work with so many different types. It's more like we talk and then I listen to what's going on and then boom, okay, we're in session and we're working on that. And I don't really know.
I like She Is Thriving. Did you make that up?
Yes.
And even when you say that, I start to sort of have a face of a woman come to mind.
Yeah.
She wants to work on her leadership.
Yeah.
Here is a really good line for you. I think this is, tell me if this lands. I work with women who have had success in a lot of areas of their life, but there's still something missing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Maybe you work with professional women who have had a lot of professional success, but there's still something deeper that's missing.
Yeah. And I do incorporate a lot of meditation. I do a lot of creative visualization meditations. That's probably the one thing that is across all the board. Anytime you work with me, whether it's a public class, private, is we're always doing some type of creative visualization and healing in our meditations.
And what's your background? Do you have a professional background?
No.
What did you do before you became a yoga teacher? Were you a CK?
I was working 3 jobs. I was a single mom. I was working in HR. I was a nanny, and I was teaching hula hooping as a fitness at the time.
So you were working corporate.
Yeah, actually I was. I mean, it was for a non-public school. I used to work for Sun. So I've been in the corporate world for many, many eons. And then ended up taking a yoga class. I turned 40 years old and I took a yoga class. And that's really what changed sort of my direction, but it took years to make the leap. So since 2010, I got my certificate. 2012, I've been teaching full time.
You know what, sweetheart, you have so much to offer. You're gonna be hella successful this year. The 2 places I would point you are women who have had a lot of success but feel like they have something missing.
Okay.
Possibly women who are wanting to reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
You reinvented yourself as a single mom at age 40.
Yeah.
And that is your story, by the way.
Yeah.
You gotta tell that story. 3 jobs, single mom, thinking this is it. I'm just gonna work my ass off and try to raise these kids. And you landed in some part of you that said, no, there's more to life.
Yeah.
There's more to being a woman.
Yeah.
And that's what you now stand for on behalf of women.
Yeah. And what's funny about that is it wasn't until really this last year for sure where I grew up in a home where like women were we were kind of like the slaves and the man was the dictator, man is above woman. And so I grew up thinking that women are weak. I'm weak and I couldn't trust women. And it took me a very long time to feel safe, like in my own self and my own femininity, and to really embrace myself as a woman and that I could be compassionate and strong.
Sweetheart, you're going to rock this message. You're going to rock it. I see it happening. I am so excited for you, and I'm so excited to support you this year. Thank you for raising your hand.
Yeah, thank you for choosing me.
You have so much to offer. I'm so excited to get you out there, to get you speaking, to fill your rooms. You're going to be empowering. I can see it. Hundreds of women and thousands of women over time.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
In a week and a half, we have our first. We're going to spend the whole day together. I'm going to give you guys my 10 key favorite strategies for attracting a bunch of new clients to you all at once. And that's in like a week and a half. So I'll see you in a week and a half on the VIP day. For those of you that are jumping in, that's happening. We can't wait to get you going. Lisa, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Love you, sister. Oh, what powerhouses we have on the line. All right, I'm going to grab my coconut water, and then I'm going to, let's see, I think we have Lorraine here who's been waiting patiently. We're going to bring you on. I'm grabbing my coconut water. Here you go, sweetheart. Let's see if we can get you on video. Lorraine is live with us. Rockstar in our midst. Hi, sweetie pie. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, look at you outdoors. Say hi to those beautiful trees for me.
Yeah, I was outdoors. I think I'm going in though. Second over here. Yeah, well, I'm going through a lot of transitions. Now I retired a couple of years ago, and I was basically a bilingual early childhood elementary teacher, mostly Spanish, sometimes French.
Junior high.
And then I also did, I was at a deli for 27 years, and I just retired a couple of years ago, and now I'm glad I'm not there because they're on strike. But
well, how can I support you the most today, Lorraine?
Excuse me?
How can I support you the most?
Well, okay. Like the person beforehand, I've been through a lot of training, and I mostly shamanic and energy healing. And I really wanted to start a shamanic energy healing business. So that's where I am.
So needed, you know, I think the awareness of how we can work with our energy to create miracle healings, lasting healings. It's, you know, I mean, it's old, it's ancient, right? People have known about energy for many, many, many centuries. And at the same time, it's so underutilized on our planet. So
yeah.
Let's see if we can get your face back in the camera here. There you go. Hi, cutie pie. And I want to ask you, so based on you training people to heal themselves, based on you bringing healing to the planet, what's your biggest challenge? How could I help you the most?
Well, I've narrowed it that my greatest challenge is actually starting. I found my best skills were in the death and dying and death department, because I've done hospice, and I just find that I'm really good at sitting by the bedside of people who are ill and dying. So that's what it was like, narrowing it down to.
Absolutely. I think it's a really beautiful message, helping families through the dying process, right? Supporting that process of death. It's so misunderstood.
Yes, very much so.
I see that you can be speaking on this topic. You can be enrolling clients. Have you jumped into one of our year-long programs yet?
No. And see, I've just gone through a whole big thing with fixing my eyes and everything. And I did get your program.
Change Lives?
Yes. And I didn't do a thing because I had 2 cataract surgeries, a whole bunch of allergies.
I have good news for you.
Yes.
every one of you that might have jumped into Events That Change Lives over the last couple of years, you guys actually can put your $1,000 tuition from Events That Change Lives directly toward year-long programs. We actually have a lot of women jump into Events That Change Lives, and they don't actually do a lot with it because it's a group program and there's nobody, because it's $1,000, right? We get you all the video modules. There's incredible trainings and templates in there, but there's no hand holding really, right? So,
Yeah.
You heard from our office, we definitely reached out to you. However, when you jump into the year-long program, you're gonna get all of this accountability and this coaching that you didn't necessarily get at that lower level, which is one of the reasons why you guys see me most of the year. For those of you guys that have been studying me and with me for a few years, I know several of you have been writing in that you have. Most of what you see us doing here at Women Rocking Business is promoting our year-long programs, because those are the programs where we can really take women and actually transform your life and your business. And so every single dollar that you spent on Events That Change Lives can be applied toward our year-long programs. And if you make a story video, now you've actually got $2,000 to put toward our year-long program. So that's going to be a really nice discount for you. And Lorraine, I'm curious, if there was one piece of clarity you could get in the next few minutes with me in terms of, how to find your people, or what it is, like how much money do you want to be creating in this business?
Right now, to live on, I need at least $2,000 more a month than I'm earning, which is just Social Security and a piddly.
You so remind me of my client Beth that came to us a couple years ago. And $2,000 isn't very much money, my love. Like, we're talking about 5 clients paying you $397 a month. That's it. And
Right.
if I was losing one of my loved ones, and the next time I do, have a sick parent or a mother, or like, you better believe I'm going to be hiring somebody to get me through that process. I am not going to do that alone. I am now the ultimate believer of coaching. And, absolutely, I think that you could easily just put a 90-day program into place and say, hey, let's work together for 90 days or even 6 months. And what I'd really like to do is get you support all the way through this process. If your father or if your mother or if your daughter, if your auntie passes away soon, then you'll have those extra few months of coaching to really move through the grief. And if they hang on for several more months, we're going to be by your side every week, supporting you with the mindset tools to say goodbye, supporting you to walk through the grief so that your life doesn't have to be totally derailed, right? By this, when you really understand what death is and when you can see it through my eyes, and when we can get you that transmission, this is a transmission that takes place over several weeks or months time. It's not just a switch that we turn on. It's something that we cultivate as we work together. We heal you, we heal your heart, we heal your soul. As you're going through one of the most important transitions of your life, do not fall asleep during this transition. Right? Saying goodbye to a loved one, we have to stay awake through that. And in order to stay awake, we need people who have our backs and are holding our pain and grief, because this world doesn't teach us that it's okay to grieve. And so,
Okay.
Lorraine, this is, right, like, you can go back and listen to the recording of this, right? But these are your marketing words right here. And I absolutely see that this is a no-brainer. 5 clients, $397 a month. Let's get you going so that you can be getting this gift to those out there who are literally right now walking through the process of losing a loved one. Get your gift in motion and get you paid what you're worth to be able to deliver that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always been really good at the creative side of things, but when it comes to business,
Sweetheart.
yeah, so that's been my problem all along, is the practicality aspect.
Yeah. I think speaking would be a really good strategy for you, getting out there and doing some talks on the truth about death.
Yeah.
Megan Neely just popped on the line. With your permission, could I bring Megan back on to see what she thinks about this idea of doing some speaking engagements in your surrounding communities around like the truth about death?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring her on. Don't you love this idea for Lorraine?
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart, are you good? Are you available?
Yes. Well, I'm just about to hop into a session in a few minutes, but I can definitely chat until 2.
You know what? Why don't you grab, do we have another coach standing by?
Yeah, let me just check. Okay, I will grab someone to
pull you off of that.
Perfect.
Send someone
Okay,
over.
I'll go grab someone.
Take you off the line. Megan's in demand. But I really love this idea for you. Have you ever done little workshops or speaking engagements before, Lorraine?
Only once. I had a hysterectomy, and I really wanted to help other women find out about what they had in store for themselves and how to prepare themselves. But not very many women showed up, and my doctor said, well, this is what happens. A lot of women don't want to hear what's going on or what is going to happen.
So true. But here's who you strike me to be. Can I be honest?
Sure.
You strike me as a truth teller.
Yeah.
You strike me as bold.
Yeah.
Where are you calling in from?
Where do I come from?
Yeah. Where are you located?
I'm in Cheshire, Massachusetts. That's Shears.
You know, the East Coast is so far behind the West Coast in terms of how many coaches are out there. We find that our clients on the East Coast are able to really fill workshops when they do it properly. They have the right titling, because it's just, you know, in California, we've got to really help people stand out because it can get saturated. You're in the perfect location for this.
Great.
Okay, I just got someone. Shannon, are you here? Can I introduce you to Shannon?
Yes.
All right, Shannon's our head of coaching. This is Shannon, everyone. Hey! I love working with you. I love working with you. Thank you for being here. So Shannon's the head of our coaching department, and she actually trains all our coaches and coaches a bunch of our clients in our Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy. What do you think about the title of the talk? What did I just come up with, Lorraine? The truth about death. The truth about death or losing a loved one. I love that. Isn't that hot? Mm-hmm. That's really hot. Yeah. And so you're a death coach?
Excuse me?
You're a grief and death coach?
I have not started. I'm a shamanic healer, and a big portion of the shamanic healing is actually helping people to pass and helping their families during the grief process and through the passing.
It's so needed, Lorraine. It's like on both sides, right? We need our midwives and we need our shamanic healers and our energy healers, and we need new information about death because we have to have it now.
Yeah. And I would say that the story behind it would be that I had both Holocaust parents. So growing up, I was never allowed the whole grieving thing because I didn't know even what a grandparent was or anything like that. And so anytime I would go into like, you know, when my turtle would die, I'd want to bury it, you know, and things like that. So, you know, everyone would say, why are you so interested in death? And now I know why I was so interested in death.
Teaching people about death. It's so much
right.
Good. Shannon,
right.
Shannon is a shaman herself. She's done deep spiritual work. So I'm really glad we actually ended up grabbing her for you. Yeah.
Right.
I wanted you to have a chance to talk with one of our coaches about, we laid out this plan for you to start with like 5 clients, paying you about $400 a month, get to that $2,000 mark, and then scale up from there, and then go for $5,000 a month, and to really look at bringing this gift. Would you like to talk to Shannon about what getting more support looks like and just flesh out this plan a little bit?
Okay. Okay.
Lorraine, what's your last name?
It's blank, like fill in the
blank. All right,
Yeah.
Sharon's gonna send you a Facebook message right now, and if you just say hi on the comment section, then she's gonna she can just Facebook message you her phone number, and you guys can hop on and just keep flushing this out.
Okay. How do I do that again? Did you say?
I'll find you on Facebook. If you put in comment in on the Facebook thread, I'll find you right there, and then we'll hop on the phone. It'll be fun.
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking forward to talking to you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
See you in a minute. Bye, everyone.
Shannon's amazing. Goddesses, if you have not grabbed a session with our coaches, they've just let me know that we're getting low on spots. So for those of you that are still with us live, I want to make sure you get on. And for you, Lorraine, if you get confused about how to find Shannon, all you have to do is email support@sagelevine.com, and we'll get you her phone number right away. But also, if you keep an eye out on your Facebook messages, in Facebook, there's a place where you actually get messages through Facebook. Shannon's going to send you her phone number there as well. But you can also email support@sagelevine.com. And any of you who are listening that have any questions, please, you can email support@sagelevine.com, and we'll take great care of you.
Okay.
All right, Lorraine, what a gift to see a badass shamanic healer woman from Massachusetts today. It was an honor to chat with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you, sister.
Okay.
Like the diversity of women who are in this tribe, right? We have about over 23,000 of you now in this tribe. This Women Rocking Business Facebook sisterhood. I just want to say the diversity just touches my heart so deeply. Thank you, everyone who's raising your hand. I'm so excited to continue to get you support. Oh my gosh, I just noticed we've got so many people on. It's hard to keep everybody's names straight. We have one of the runner-up winners here waiting, and Jennifer won a 30-minute breakthrough session with me. Jennifer, I'm going to bring you on as a panelist, and we can start the coaching right now, and that way when we get to our 30-minute session, you'll be that much more prepared. Jennifer, your video was so badass. You're such a rock star. How are you, cutie pie?
Great. I am so happy to be here and to be talking to you. I am such a huge fan of the work that you're doing, and I love the women that you attract. I think that says a lot about who you are to me. I really believe in frequency, and every time I meet somebody that follows you, I'm just like floored and amazed. The women that you attract. And I'm sorry, I've been kind of emotional. I was writing that I was like really emotional because it's really incredible, if you don't mind me sharing real quick, this journey, because, so I just became a mom. I have a 7-month-old. And I don't know if you noticed, but I shared in my video that I lost a baby about 10 years ago. And it's amazing for me. And so, but I had put my business and everything on the back burner. And I was more supporting my husband and my baby and everything. And I decided that I wanted to get back on it. I'm like, I got to stand up for myself. I want my daughter to be proud of me and all this. And I was writing my story because I had heard before that marketing through story was a good thing. And I have done,
You're smart to pay attention to that.
Yes. And I do workshops. I mean, I'm really good at like getting on Facebook and making a Facebook ad and getting people and do that. And I love speaking, but my online presence has been something different. Anyway, so I was writing my story and I teach about conscious creation. And so I have been creating my vision and doing all these things to attract what I needed. And as I'm writing my story, I'm thinking, man, this is hard. I don't know how to do this. Your email pops up in my inbox, boom, the challenge. And I was like, oh. So I immediately signed up. I sign up and then you say you have this $10,000 thing going on. So I immediately make my manifestation, right? I have it here. I do the first one. And then today I do another one. I don't know if you see that, but that's an image of, how you have all the women holding hands?
Yes.
That picture?
Yes.
So I saw myself joining in, right? Holding hands. And
really excited. Then I get, I won something, and I'm so excited about that. I was jumping all over the house like a crazy person. But finally, I was thinking, well, should I do this? The baby's 7 months old, this and that. And then you bring on Selena. And she starts talking about what happened to her friend. And losing that baby was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. And I remembered for some reason that when I lost that baby, I made a promise to myself that before having another baby, right? Like I have my daughter, but I want to have another baby. And I have promised that baby that I would make something of myself, that I would go after my dreams, so that soul, if that's the way it happens, but I don't know if it's the same soul or not, but I believe it is, that soul could come back when I was ready. And I actually thanked the baby for it. I felt like I was given an opportunity back then because I wasn't ready. It was really painful. I wanted to have the baby, of course. I lost it over natural causes, but the honest truth is that I wasn't ready. And it's just incredible that then you bring on this person and she's talking about that. And I remember that. It's just,
you're going to make me
so amazing.
Cry. No parent should ever have to outlive a child. That is not how it's supposed to be. No. But I will tell you this, if that has taken place for you, you now have the power of 2 souls and 2 hearts in you, so that you can go and make a huge difference. And I just want to say to you, Jennifer, your clarity and your power and your hunger to make a difference is absolutely palpable. Like I can almost feel it. Like you're just a rock star. I'm so excited to support you.
Thank you.
And what's the biggest thing I could help you create this year? How much money do you need to be making? Who do you want to be helping?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm a big dreamer. And I dream, I envision having a business like yours. I think big. I know at the beginning, it's going to take time. I mean, I'm realistic, but I definitely see myself. I love speaking in front of audiences. I love doing webinars. Retreats is something I've never done, but I dream of doing. I actually moved to Europe about almost 2 years ago, which is was one of my dreams, and now I'm living. And I'm thinking that I could do like retreats around Europe, Marrakesh.
Europe is such an untapped market. You can rock it over there. You can be so successful over there. So tell me this, who are you helping?
So I was just thinking about that when you were talking. And
for those of you who have big dreams like Jennifer, the reason you have big dreams is because you are glimpsing your future. That is how dreams work. And the only reason people don't manifest dreams is because they don't go for it.
Absolutely.
The only way you can ever fail is if you give up. If you're willing to keep trying, I've never seen it happen that women don't have results. And I've worked with thousands of women over the last decade. And every single one that keeps going have results. It is waiting for you. So tell me a little bit more. Who are the ideas you will help?
So even though I haven't been doing my events, I always end up coaching someone, like one of my best friends, she wants to find her partner. And what I realized is that women, when you try to accomplish a goal and it doesn't happen, let's say that you made a manifestation and you put the effort in and it didn't work, then over time you start to lose faith that you are capable of doing it. And you start to lose faith that the universe has your back. And of course, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's crucial. I call it the certainty seed. You have to plant a certainty seed in your heart and water it every day and make it grow, because if you don't have that faith, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work. That is step one. And so it is my passion to help people, help women specifically, feel empowered. And I also have a lot of tools that I can, in terms of like the manifestations that I showed you, many more. I am training rebirthing. I am training energy healing through sacred geometry mandalas. Actually, my husband is a energy healer, relationship coach. He does really well It's really fun to work with him through that. What else? Yoga therapy, just all these tools to process emotions. So,
women. Is that a possibility?
I was on the fence, but yeah, I love this idea of the sisterhood. And actually, I was dreaming for the longest time of having sisters like this. You know, I'm sorry, but it's like when you're in this kind of path, you can feel so lonely sometimes, right?
It's so isolating. And not just sisters, but sisters who are going for it, right?
Exactly.
Sisters who have invested in themselves and put a stake in the ground to say, I'm not just going to dream about this. I'm going to go for this. And when you're around women like that, it's a rising tide. The rising tide lifts all boats, right?
Absolutely.
And Harvard actually came out with a study a few years back where they studied groups of men, groups of women, and mixed groups, and to see how efficient and how successful they were. And it was the only women groups, the all women groups, that actually went the furthest. So they found that even the strongest of women go further when they study and work and train together. So it's very powerful. It's very, very, very powerful what you want to create and what you're doing. And we work with a lot of women who aspire to work with women because it's very accessible. Then you can take pretty much everything you see us do and you can just wash, rinse, and repeat it with your own group. So I'm really excited for you. And for your 7-month-old, how much money do you want to be making?
I want to start with 10,000 a month. Yeah. That's my goal towards the end of this year. That would be amazing. Yeah. Also, I would like to do a retreat by the end of the year. Like, I dream of retreats. I love the energy of a retreat. I love helping people through a breakthrough. Yeah. In my workshops, when people write me and tell me that I changed their lives, I mean, to me, when I'm contributing is when I feel the best. Yeah. So that's what I envision.
I want to see if I can get another coach in here for you to talk to you more right now. And then you and I will have our 30-minute breakthrough session together. But I can see this going very quickly for you. I mean, 6 figures, right, is $8,000 a month. Right? And I absolutely see that you could put a program together for women leaders that was, let's say, $497 a month, $500 a month. Let's say you have 16 clients in there. Right?
Beautiful.
This would be like, here's the way I'm going to call it womanifesting, right? The way we womanifest, right?
Yeah.
We womanifest by getting really clear on where we could start from. What is the launch pad? And it's one of the reasons why we really encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to hop on the phone with one of our coaches so that we can really start to break this down for you, because we're all trained in realistic business models. How can this work if you're just getting started? What is the industry standard for different niches? I mean, you're probably going to charge a little bit different if you're helping someone with their relationship versus if you're helping someone with their business, right? But the good news is that there's so much untapped potential in the internet right now. I mean, what we can do with the internet at our fingertips in terms of filling our retreats and filling our workshops and getting in front of people, it's limitless. There's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. So I would love to get you on the phone to chat with a coach about really making this 6 figures a reality. And I would just jot that business model down. I really see you putting together a women's leadership program and doing women's events. And then, you know, something like $497 a month for maybe 6 months, right? 16 clients going on this journey together. Very powerful.
I have a couple programs already that I love and I continue to improve. And one of them is called the 12 Spiritual Principles of Unlimited Personal Power.
I love it.
And this is the last thing I want to say real quick. It's so funny because when I created my video, I kept tripping over the part about talking about the baby. And look how it looped around. And I had to do it so many times because of that. I was like, there seems to be some more healing there. And people would tell me like, oh, you know, I'm talking too fast. And it was because it was too long. So I had to make it shorter. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. It's really cool. It's really cool. I'm really grateful.
It's so cool. And it's your womanness. It's your femininity and your womanness and that same part of you that has, you know, for many of us, we are emotional beings, right? We're feeling so much of the time, and people aren't necessarily talking about that out there, right? But what's happening in here is that we're like powerhouses. Like we have all of these things that we're tapped into, and we're moving into a time in history where we can actually utilize all of that in order to make a difference. And that's actually the thing that is going to quantumly make a difference. Sorry, I heard a knock at the door. It's going to quantumly make a difference because you're now able to use all of you, not just your intellect, but your heart and your emotional intelligence and your deep, deep, deep well of intuition, and to take everything that you've already created and really be sure that we package it as something that women are going to flock toward and run toward, because you have a couple of options in your business, right? A lot of people will create things on their own and then go out there and try to teach people about why people need that thing. And we call that upstream marketing, right? And what we teach you to do at Women Rocking Business is we teach you how to be sure that you're marketing downstream. So we call it downstream marketing when we be sure to match your manifestation gifts, your personal power gifts, all the things that you can help women do to claim their personal power, learn how to trust their intuition, manifest, all of that, match that with the women who are really looking for it so that we're speaking directly to them. And that way you have people magnetized to you, because no woman wants to go around chasing clients, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm so excited to get you going.
I keep dancing.
Oh yeah.
Getting me.
It looks good on you. It looks so good on you. Well, I have your Facebook Messenger thread. So if you want one of our coaches to call you this afternoon.
The thing is, I'm in Spain, remember. It is 11 o'clock now. Okay. And I don't know, I'm going to Puerto Rico soon, so I didn't know if that would be better or.
In the next couple of days.
The next couple of days? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Unless you want to call like right now.
I could do it. I wonder if I could do it over like WhatsApp or something like that.
We would do it. We would probably send you a Zoom link.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Good.
We'll get you someone, and I will, message me your phone number, or message me. I'll have one of my coaches hop on that Facebook Messenger thread that you and I were already on.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. And kisses to everyone. Powerful goddesses. Love you.
Love you, sister. All right.
Bye.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. I am going to turn off my video for 30 seconds. I'm going to grab my granola bar and I'll be right back. So take a deep breath, stretch your arms up overhead. And if you still want coaching and you want to hang out in the energy a little bit longer, I'll be right back. Will you give me advice? I'm still on. All right, you guys, bring it on over here. I have biological needs that I'm taking care of. And you all are so amazing to hang on and wait as we keep going. So I am going to pull on our next amazing goddess and take a couple bites of food so that I continue to have the chi and the energy to love on every single one of you. Okay, Anne has been waiting so patiently, and we're gonna pull you on. Hi, sweetheart. Let's see if you have your video on. How can I support you today? I remember you. How are you, cutie pie?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm so glad to be here with all of you eating healthy food and doing my favorite thing in the world, which is help women live their dreams.
Awesome. So good to see you, Sage. And I just love watching you shine your light so brightly. You inspire so many of us. So thank you so much. And your team is amazing.
You're so welcome. Oh my gosh, I know. I do have the most amazing team. What a gift. And how can I support you the most?
So I have a challenge really articulating how I really help women. I know I really do, and I love helping women. I'm very good at it. I'm very passionate about it. But I don't really know how to articulate what I do. And when I did the video yesterday, it was a fabulous experience because I also got really clear that I really don't know how to really articulate what I do. And it's so important to do that. You know, I'm also looking at joining your program, the ELA, because I really want to scale my work and really bring it out into the world in a big way, because I know that I can help so many people. That's kind of it in a nutshell. There's more, but you know.
Where are you calling from? Do I hear an accent in your voice?
Well, I'm Irish, so yes, I was born in Ireland, lived there from 0 to 17, and even though I've been away from there for quite a while, the accent is still there a bit.
Oh, I love it. Where do you live now?
I live in the Bay Area, so I'm close. Yeah.
Well, like I said, women are the largest untapped potential on the planet right now.
Yeah.
It's in the zeitgeist. It's in the actual public conversation. Like the Dalai Lama was just asked what he thinks about women leaders, and he said, well, the world needs more leaders with compassion, and what that means is the world needs more feminine leaders, because women biologically have more sensitivity to others' well-being, right? It's like women are hungry to step up, to step out, to lead. And I'd absolutely love to support you with that. Which one of my coaches did you chat with?
I chatted with Megan initially, and she's just wonderful, so inspirational.
God, she's such an inspiration, isn't she?
And a redhead.
Yep, absolutely. We love you redheads. And do you have clients yet?
I do have a few clients, a handful of clients, and ideally I'd love to scale that where I'm working 2 full days a week with clients back to back in 2 days, and the other 3 days where I'm really working on my bigger mission, my bigger vision, and then really taking the weekend off and just resting and having fun. It's very important for me to do that as well.
So important. It's why I can get on here. We've had people emailing in, how does Sage stay on that line for 2.5 hours? And it's the reason why I can do it. Excuse me. It's the reason why is because I take my time off. I rest. I did a healing ceremony with my team this morning. It's like, this is why we're alive, right? Like I'm gonna get offline with you guys and go down to the beach, right? It's like this is why we're alive. This is what we're built to do. And for many of you, you've been following our freedom formula, right? One of the things we stand for at Women Rocking Business is working 12 days a month or less. So I always take 1 day a week off. Usually it's Fridays, but this week it was last Monday. I was in Beverly Hills because I knew I was going to be with you guys on Friday, but I only work 4 days a week. And then I take a week off every single month. And it's in our culture, right? So we can work 12 days a month and have the same results as somebody that works more when we make that intention of universe. These are the days that you have full use of me, full use of this body, this mind, this spirit, this soul. And when we have the right strategies to match that intention, we can absolutely get you there. And what you're speaking to, just for the benefit of everyone who's learning, right? In terms of setting up your schedule, you guys want to make sure that you plan days in your week where you don't take appointments so that you can work on your business. Because you want to have, of course, you're going to have a couple days a week where you're working in your business. You're in your business. You're working with clients. You're doing the marketing. But you want to have a couple days a week where you're working on your business. And what that means, at least 1 day a week where you're working on your business. And what that means is that you have time to go into the dream state. Right? To like, maybe that's the time when you get clear that it's time to hire an assistant and who this person is. And, of course we have strategies to help you write that job description, but there's also that energetic alignment that you're going to be stepping into when you're ready to receive that kind of support. So having that time to really be in the big picture of where am I going and what do I need to get there, right? It's so important. So that's what we teach you guys to do in the year-long programs. And so, Anne, my sense about you is you've done a lot of work on yourself.
Huge.
And there's a lot of women especially in the Bay Area and California and all over the world, who are just beginning their journey of waking up. Like, it's not that they're just beginning, but they've been occupying themselves with other things. They're driven, they've had success, but they're missing some of that deeper fulfillment, right? That alignment with that deeper spiritual side of themselves. So I'm having a sense that these are potentially your women. Does that resonate?
It does resonate. The target market that I've tapped into at the moment, that brings me a lot of joy, because I was looking at, last year I experimented, who was my niche? Who is that woman that I really have joy in helping and I can help? Are entrepreneurial women who are really aligned with their spiritual selves and who are driven to be successful in the world. So I help them to up-level their income, their potential, and their performance, but really keeping them aligned with their spiritual selves. And you're talking about another potential target market. And as you speak about it, I'm definitely resonating with that also. And I definitely have had a little bit of resistance about bringing more of who I am as that spiritual being out into the world and letting that light shine forth. But as you pinpointed so accurately, the truth is that the amount of development and cultivation that I've got is extremely deep, profound, and unique and life transforming for the right people.
100%. And whether you end up staying with the entrepreneurial women or whether you shifted a little bit to move toward women leaders who are on this soul journey, who are seeking deeper alignment, really a lot of what you do is going to be the same. I'm not even sure it matters that much. And I'm guessing you may end up working with some of both, right? When you have this, right, this women's program helping women achieve their full potential, you may end up with more. But I'm curious, what was the plan that you and Megan laid out? Do you remember how many people you were helping, what you were charging, what you were looking at in terms of that category?
So yes, so we were looking at really what I needed for a minimum to live on, and then how many clients really to get for that. And then to begin to move towards, I'd have to look at my notes, begin to move towards creating a program. Yeah. With the ELA structure, because, I know what I'm really good at. I know who I love to help. I'm moving from that jewelry design business structure that I've been in for many years, right? And I'm moving into a completely different business structure that, quite frankly, it's like Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese all at once. I'm lost.
It's why we need you guys for a year. It's why we need you for a year, because without that time with you for a whole year, right? It's so it's dangerous that you can spin out. You can lose hope, you can lose faith, you can get distracted, right? We get distracted every day by whatever emotional thing is pulling on us at the moment, right? Without putting an anchor in the ground of like, I have the next 12 months to go this way, and be reminded on a daily or weekly basis, I actually really am going that way. And here's how to get there. It's so easy to be all over the place. And I'm wondering for you, what would be a good amount of money to reach first? Like, is $5,000 going to make you comfortable a month? Is $10,000 going to make you comfortable a month? Because here's our goal at Women Rocking Business. Our whole goal is to give you a very specific plan that you're aligned with. That's a big part of what we do. We make sure you're aligned with the plan. We make sure you can go at your pace. You don't have to go at anybody else's pace. Some of you want to go fast. Some of you guys want to take it nice and steady. And that we show you how to make sure that we get you to that number that's going to have you be like, no problem. If my business can generate $5,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $10,000 a month, I can take a deep breath of, this is working. And now my psyche is freed up to go and actually create even more of the legacy that you're meant to create. Because the first step, we can't create legacy until our financial needs are taken care of. So what's that amount for you?
I would say 5,000 is a good beginning point. It even feels like a little bit low. However, that will give me that breathing space, which is important.
Yeah, I think it's what I wanted. It's what Megan wanted when she first got started. it's that basic, I can cover my nut. It's like just enough that I can breathe. I don't have to worry about going out and getting a part-time job, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I really like this plan for you of putting a 6-month program in place.
Mm-hmm.
It can be more if you want. Some of our clients start out with 9-month or 12-month programs, but putting a 6-month program in place that probably includes a retreat of some kind.
Yeah.
And that you could potentially work with women in a group, right? And maybe they get some private coaching too.
Mm-hmm.
Start out at something like $497 a month, right? That's like super, I mean, that's actually low. You could charge more than that, but it's a nice starting rate, right? To really have this be realistic for you. And then put the plan in place through ELA to do the speaking engagements, to get the online marketing going, to make a few videos, to get those free consultations coming in. We call them discovery sessions, where you're sitting down with a woman who's actually been pre-qualified. They're interested in what you have because they've seen you. And I'll tell you guys what, having one of those complimentary sessions, those discovery sessions on the heels of somebody watching your video or seeing you on stage is so different than trying to drum up those conversations when you're at a networking group or when people don't know anything about you. Right. And what we found here in studying how do women grow businesses efficiently, we found that women, we're natural givers. We're built to give. So when we have permission and we have the proven strategies to just go out and give our stuff and talk to people and teach people things and empower people, when we have those strategies at our fingertips, then we can go be our generous selves and then let people know there's more where that came from. Right? So absolutely, I see this working for you like clockwork. 10 clients, $497 a month. That's going to be your $5,000 launch pad, and you'll be easily affording whatever support you decide to invest in, whether it's Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy or something else. But of course, we'd love to have you. How does that feel?
It feels great. I really appreciate you reflecting back to me your insight as well about this other niche market that I could tap into, and that feels right as well. And as you said, it doesn't have to be exclusively one or the other, and it feels good. It feels it's landing. It feels doable. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Congratulations. Are you going to jump in?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I'm totally honest, right? I keep getting a yes. So I make decisions by checking in internally because that's where our power is, right? That's where we really connect to the truth that really supports us. I've always gotten a yes. And yet externally, which is actually internally, I'm moving past the resistances to saying the yes. It's important that I move those past. So when I say yes, it's a 1000%. Yes, absolutely. So in other words, yes, I'm going to do it. I just have to clear a couple of more things.
Absolutely. So would you like any support on that? Would you like to play with the resistance a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. So what are the voices saying?
You don't have the money. What if you fail? What if, so I have chronic fatigue syndrome and I get flare-ups just out of the blue, and it just takes me out of life. And I don't know how long it takes me out of life for. It's just until the cycle is complete. And when it's like, I feel like I take, and I was speaking to Megan about this, it's kind of like I take one step forward and then I get like completely smacked back several steps again. So it is a challenge, unfortunately, for me to build momentum. It really is. And it just feels like it is beyond my control. So part of my daily and continuous practice is to love my body, is to command forth those healing frequencies, that divine, perfected healing blueprint within every cell of my body. But that's the realistic thing is.
That's just real. I'm so glad you were honest with me. Can I give you a few thoughts?
Yeah. Thank you.
My number one hit is that some of these episodes have been happening to retune you to a different frequency.
Yeah.
And that they will not have to continue once you really own who you've become. Okay? So to really own and really to be able to look in the mirror and see the progress that you've made, and really give that to yourself and ask others in your life that you know are capable of reflecting your greatness to you. Don't ask just anybody these questions. when you guys go be vulnerable and ask people for validation, you better only ask people who have earned the right. Don't go put your vulnerable heart on the line for somebody who has not earned the right to be in that conversation with you. I'm saying that to every single one of you. But for you, Anne, to really let that in, who you've become. And one of the things that we challenge our women to do in our year-long programs is to treat their body as the temple for their business. So women in our year-long programs are alkalizing their bodies. They're giving up alcohol for a few months. They're they're really stepping into a path of just treating themselves like an absolute queen, so that then, right, some of those niggling health pieces can begin to fall away. We had a client 2 years ago now who was with us for 2 years. Are you okay, sweetheart?
Oh, fine. Allergies.
Yeah, totally. We had a client that was with us she graduated a couple years ago, and she was with us for a couple of years. Her name was Chantal, and she came to us, and within like 3 months of working with us, she had a breast cancer diagnosis. And we sat down with her and asked her what she'd like to do. And at the end of that conversation, she decided, I'm going to build my business steadily at my pace throughout my mastectomy, throughout being in the hospital. I have been wanting to do this for so long. I refuse to put this on hold. And she really just took a couple hours a day where she'd leisurely take some of the action steps, get on the phone with people, make a video from her hospital bed. And within about 6 weeks, she was supporting other women with breast cancer. I mean, it gives me shivers to think about this. And she said to us, the more I focused on my business, the better my body felt, because I had a purpose. I was I was anchored to something energetically. And I found that to be true for myself. I had chronic respiratory infections, and I had some liver fatigue and liver sluggishness and some real nervous system imbalances after my book came out. And it's been the process of steadily getting myself more aligned with, you guys see it, I'm just who I am, right? And the more we can just unleash the true us and align with the thing the universe wants from us, the more I find that our bodies follow. David White has a very famous poem out there. I wrote about it in my book, Women Rocking Business. And his poem says, the cure to exhaustion is not rest. The cure to exhaustion is wholeheartedness. Because when we are fully aligned with our heart, we can do anything, right? We've seen that in some of the amazing leaders, men and women on our planet. But Anne, I'm really excited to get you the tools to be aligned so that you can truly have this be the moment that you say yes to yourself. And we're absolutely willing to get creative with you and work with you on this. To be able to say that yes.
The truth is that it's like I feel that I can't afford to do it, but I can't afford not to do it because I've been looking for the roadmap myself now. I launched my new business about a year ago, and it's doing quite well because I'm so passionate about it and I love it and I love my clients. But I've been looking for the roadmap, the steps, and because it's such a different business model to what I've been into previously, I'm just very overwhelmed and lost. And you guys are offering not only the roadmap, but I'm also aware, and I feel a little bit embarrassed saying this, but I need the hand-holding through this. I need it.
I didn't launch $1 million company without coaching. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Right now I have 3 mentors supporting me to scale into the multi-million.
Yeah.
It actually takes a very strong woman to stand up and say, I can't do this alone. And even if I could, I don't think I want to.
Yeah.
Try to do that. Now is not the time in history where we have to muscle through anything.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to push. When we have a baby inside of us, good luck getting the baby out without some pushing through some resistance, right?
Yeah.
So often we identify the resistance as possible reasons to stop. And I'm here to tell you, if you have a baby inside of you, go ahead and push that thing out, right? The world's ready for your incredible gift. And Anne, I just want to acknowledge you for knowing, I'm ready for the hand-holding. What do you think about hopping back on the line with Megan and
I think that would be awesome. We do have an appointment set up pretty soon, up in the next couple of days. But I could definitely move that up a little bit. I'll reach out to her after this. I don't want to miss any of this, Sage. You're just so awesome.
Well, let me see if I can bring her on to see what she has to say. Okay. I don't know if she's on the line or not, but would it be okay if I check to see?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, here, let's see what Megan has to say about you and your badass gifts.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Anya. I'm so glad that you had an opportunity to get some coaching and support from Sage. And this is really what it's like when, when you're in one of the year-long programs, you're not trying to figure out all of these pieces on your own. And I heard you saying that you really wanted to have the hand-holding and support. And I'm with you. I still need that. Absolutely. I have multiple mentors. I'm always getting support because it's so easy for us to get into the overwhelm in our own minds. Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad that you're getting some support. And I know that, last time we talked, you were really a yes for the program. And it was just a matter of finding the resources, finding the way. So I'm curious, what progress you've made on that front.
Well, as I was saying to Sage, it's, I'm still of course, I'm constantly checking in and I'm still getting a yes, and I'm very happy about that, but I'm also going, really? Okay. Because when I get a yes, we know, no matter how scary it is, we know that it is in our highest good. And my commitment to myself is to listen to myself internally and to follow that guidance. And every time I do, magic happens. So as I was saying to Sage, it's just about moving through the resistance. So when I do really pull that trigger, I'm not doing it from a place of, oh, I'm actually doing it. Hell yes, let's do this 100%. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what this call, I think, even getting on with Sage and you right now is, it's about supporting me to bring that up to the next level.
Yeah. And I'm totally with you in that. And, one thing that I really recognize in you, Anya, is that you are really committed to yourself and you're committed to getting support, because I know you showed up and had conversations with me and now, watching the training. And like you said, you don't want to miss a minute. You're really soaking it all in. And those are truly our best clients. Mm-hmm. Like when you're willing to get on a call, you're soaking in every little piece of information. You're willing to raise your hand. You're just going to jump right in there and ask for feedback, be open to coaching. And I see that you are embodying all of those qualities. So I know with all of that and with your knowing and alignment with your decision, it's going to be an amazing year for you.
Yes, it's time.
It's that feeling of jumping off the cliff, right?
Right. It really is. But as I said, internally, it's just so clear. And I need what you ladies are offering. I know where I want to go. I know that I can really help so many people. I'm clear about that, right? That 100% clear. And I know that you guys ladies, wonderful ladies, will give me the support for that. It's just...
We're so excited for you, and I'm so excited to coach you this year and get you in front of these women and get you that feeling of 10 women who have invested in themselves through your program that we're going to help you create this summer. Like, we're going to help you create every aspect of that program, and we're going to be on in a week and a half giving you the exact strategies to go find those 10 clients. I'm so excited for you. And with that, I actually do want to invite Megan and Anya to wrap up this marathon training today with me, this 3-day client attracting stories training. We have come to the end. You'll be able to access the replays this weekend. And I'm going to invite every single one of you who's watching who has not made a video, if you have not made a video yet, to consider that this is a moment where you can take a step toward your true self. Take a step toward visibility. Take the step into a little bit of the unknown. Trust this group. This is such an amazing, safe place to practice these videos. This is why our women have such amazing success. You've been hearing their story, Selena's story, Megan's story. You've been hearing their stories here on the call today, and it's because we've created the kind of environment where you're allowed to take big risks, right? Like you're encouraged to take those risks because you know whether you succeed or fall on your face, there's a whole group of women that are going to pick you up and dust you off and say, let's keep going. Take a nap if you need to, go get a massage if you need to, but we know where we're going because the world needs us and the income is waiting and the impact is waiting. And we have this saying at Women Rocking Business, whether you fall on your face or whether you end up on Oprah, we have your back because we have fears at both sides of the spectrum. Would you guys agree? Like we have fears of falling on our face, but we also have fears, if we really examine it, of being wildly successful. Because many of us think to ourselves, I know I did, what if I get super successful and wealthy and, you know, known, and some of the people that love me the most don't know how to be with me in that place? It was terrifying and gripping. And I'll tell you what, the people who were meant to be in my life have not only stayed with me, but they've become my biggest champions. Some of them now work at Women Rocking Business and are my best friends, and we work together and we're changing the world and flying around together. And I thank the younger version of me. I just get tears in my eyes when I think about it. I thank the younger version of me that had to be so brave to take steps when I didn't have the money and when I didn't know where it was going to come from. You know, I hired my first mentor by having a garage sale. I had a garage sale and raised $1,800, which paid for my first 2 months with my first mentor. And, you know, we have clients every year get very creative. They pull a little bit of money out of a 401k. They make a phone call to a relative for the first couple of months. Serena, who you heard from yesterday when we were having all our technical difficulties, she borrowed the first few months from her mom just because she said, Mom, this is my dream. I know this is my path. I promise I'll pay this back to you. Some of you have nobody to borrow from, but you have resources, you have yourself. And again, that's why we have our payment plans. So from my heart to yours, don't let money be a reason to keep you from getting the support that you need to live your legacy on this planet and to not wait any longer, because it's never going to feel convenient. It's never going to feel like the exact right time. So grab a spot to chat with our coaches. Megan, I'll have you ping Anya and see if you guys want to talk now or hop on the next meeting that you already have set up. And Anya, I just want to say, congratulations for saying yes to yourself. I see it. I can feel it. I know how much courage it takes. And I'm telling you, I promise I'm looking into your eyes and saying, I have no doubt that you have what it takes. There is no doubt in my body that you have what it takes. So your clients are literally out there praying for you right now.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so cool. So exciting. Thank you.
So exciting. And, you know, it really building on this momentum that you have and you're knowing, and like Sage was saying, it feels like that edge of the cliff kind of place and the alignment. I'm happy to just give you a call right now. So I have a little gap in my schedule and I will just give you a call.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Every single one of you, your clients are literally waiting for you. In the same way that you've been asking for support and you stumbled into us, this is universal law. Your clients are out there with their own challenges and their own suffering and their own broken pieces, waiting for someone like you to say, look, I made it through that health challenge. I haven't given up on myself. Don't give up on love. You're valuable because of the exact PhD program that you have been through. It's been preparing you for the exact gift that you are here to bring, that nobody else can bring in the way that you bring it, because your life has been unique and there's people out there waiting to hear the message through your unique lens who can't actually hear it from anybody else. So don't buy into the lies of competition and don't buy into any of your own voices that say you're not good enough. Because I'm here to say to every single one of you, if you have the desire in your heart, the resources are there. I promise. There's a universal principle that says every idea comes with its own infinite supply. Write that down. Every idea comes with its own infinite supply. Feel the truth of it. Feel the knowingness in it. Enjoy talking to my coaches over the next few days. They're amazing. They can't wait to talk to you. We're over here rooting you on, and I can't wait to support all of you who are jumping into our year-long programs over the next few days. We start in a week and a half. We're going to be together the whole day, getting you the 10 top strategies to magnetize your next 10 clients. I love you all. Thank you for being a part of the Client Attracting Stories training. Thank you, Anya. Thank you.
Thanks, Sage. Awesome.
Give yourselves a hug from us and keep going and grab a spot to talk to our coaches. We'll see you on the other side.